Uh-oh, is that my co-host coming in finally?
You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table. Where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, huh? Laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. Get addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HD content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn you back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Yeah. You don't need Netflix. You don't need cable. Hop on YouTube. Welcome to the hood table. Al, what's up?
What's up?
And that song, as most of y'all know, is courtesy of my niece, Thailand Music. Look her up. She has her YouTube channel, IG, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Her songs have been featured on Tyler Perry TV shows. She is really blowing up. So yes, courtesy of my niece are the Hood Table theme rap song. But hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing, co-host, and how you doing, guest?
I am doing just good, just good.
That is good. That is good. We have a special guest on our show tonight with me and Carmel Diva. The show, as you can see from the title, it says exclusive interview with the ex-wife of serial killer Nico Jenkins.
I think he should be called a spree killer.
Welcome to the Hood Table, Shalonda.
Hey, hi
How
guys.
are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
I am
Good.
doing well.
You remember me?
No.
No, because she's all dolled up tonight. She got the jewelry on. She got makeup
I
on.
remember you. What's
That's
your
who you
name?
had did the pre-interview with, like last week or whatever that was.
I'm Miss Kirksey. I was the one that used to tell you I was gonna hang you upside down by your toenails
Oh yeah. By the way, she did say
up
you
at
were one of
Wakanda.
her students. Mhm. She said she used to be one of my students. I know her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? You
Oh
told her
Now
to
you remember that?
by her toenails.
No. Oh my gosh. No, when you said Wakanda, this is funny.
Oh my God. It's a small world. It's a
Because you
small
were in Miss Weibel's class with me.
Oh my Lord. Was that the second grade?
No, that was 5th grade.
Oh my gosh.
It's a small
Mm-hmm.
world. Everybody knows everybody here in Omaha. It's like
Oh yeah.
what's that thing called, Karma Diva? 6
6 degrees of separation.
in Omaha, I think we have 2. I think
Especially
we have
North
2
Omaha.
degrees. Especially North Omaha.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2 degrees of separation. Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
But everybody come on in, come on in. Make sure you guys like and share the video. Subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed, if you're not already a follower. Please and thank you very much. Share this live out. This is going to be what I believe a very good interview between Carmel Diva and I and our special guest, Shalonda Moore. Shalonda Moore is here with us tonight because she's working on a book that she's going to be working on. What is going to be the name of the book? Because let's see, how are we going to tackle this part right? Okay, I want to make sure I get this part right. There is a book out there already.
Correct.
But there's a little controversy behind the book already, or a little drama. So do you want to tackle that real quick before we get into the interview?
It's some stuff going on with that first book. Me personally speaking, because I'm speaking for myself, I am not encouraging nobody to buy that book as of today. Do not spend your money on it. Yeah, don't spend your money on it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not standing behind that. So
okay, so the book that's out there, the book that's out there.
It's a good read.
It's a good read.
It's a good read, but give me about 45 days to 60 days in the book that I'm gonna come out with. That's a good book, but it's gonna be way more stuff in the book that I'm gonna come out with myself.
Okay.
Okay. So she said give her about 45 to 60 days and she'll have an updated version of her story, her life before, during, and after the serial killer. They actually call him a spree killer, Nico Jenkins, who is basically on death row right now. Didn't he get like 4 death sentences?
4 death sentences, and if they
Plus
took
500 years or something.
if they took the death penalty off if they don't reinstate the death penalty, then he has to serve 450 years to 500 years.
Yeah, it's like 500 years or something like that. Yeah, so he ain't getting out at all. At least not while we're alive. Well, not while he's. Well, anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. He ain't never getting out.
I'm not about to be playing with you today.
What's up, Keisha, vibrant choreo lover? Hey, everybody who's dropping down. We are going to have a Q&A session as well. We're going to try to be on here less than an hour and a half because Shalonda does have small children, so we don't want to keep her on here all night with the interview. But she graced our platform tonight, and we're going to discuss, a little bit about what she wants people to know about her. And we're going to ask her questions and to talk about her history with the serial killer Nico Jenkins, and and then we'll offer a question Q&A at the end, and I'm sure she'll be open to any questions. If anybody read the book already, that's already out, and got questions, or if anybody is from our area, or just.
And I got one thing to add to that. When you're asking her questions, be respectful. Do not try to be disrespectful towards her.
Because I do
be
not
respectful.
entertain negative stuff. I will not respond.
Yes, anybody get real negative in the chat, we will block you.
We understand everybody everybody ain't going to agree with everything. We get that, but you don't have to be nasty or negative about it. Because trust me, if I see it in the chat, I'm kicking you, your mama, and everybody else out.
Exactly. We gotta keep it. This is the hood table. Y'all know how we get down over here on the hood table, but we do have to keep it respectful, especially for our guests. Even though this is a very controversial subject matter that we're discussing. A lot of people, if you live in Omaha, you know all about this story, all about the serial killer, all about Shalonda Moore, and a lot of other people who are involved with the serial killer Nico Jenkins. But again, you can freely ask questions in the chat, but just make sure you're keeping it respectful. Otherwise, you will get. So on that note, first of all, I want to ask you, as far as this book that you're working on, what made you want to come out with a book? I won't call it a tell-all, but you are providing a lot of information about your upbringing and the time period that you were with Nico, and afterwards up to the time that you guys got divorced, so he got sentenced and things like that. So what made you come out now and want to tell your side of the story? Because there's always been speculations about you having more to do with some of the murders or some of the treacherous things that he did out in these Omaha streets.
Can we start back to before we even get there? How did you meet Nico?
Well, we're going to get to that, but I want to ask her why first she even decided to write the book. But we're going to get to all that.
Okay.
I decided to write the book because I'm on a healing journey. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to live my life through love and light, and encourage other people. I've been through a lot in my life. Like you said, there's been a lot of people who have put me in a category or said that I've done this or I've done that when I wasn't even around that man. And I could be honest about anything I did was honest, even within the book that came out. I was very honest with anything that I saw. I wasn't involved in anything because that's not my heart. Like, I don't want to hurt people. I don't like that. And like you said, like a lot of people always said, oh, you got something to do with it. Oh, why she didn't get arrested? They said she was in the car when he did this. I was. If I would have got out the car, I wouldn't be sitting here telling my story now. So I mean, and apparently, you know, and it has bothered me over the years because I'm like, dude, if I have had anything to do with anything, like being bluntly speaking, his family, his whole lineage in the state of Nebraska is very well hated. You know, like when it first happened, like if I had anything to do with it, I would be sitting in jail. I would be doing time. I would, you know what I'm saying? Like I was on parole. They knew where I was. They knew what I was doing. They let me out of prison for my first time doing prison. They let me out of prison when I wasn't even supposed to be out of prison to keep an eye on this man. Not as I'm putting pieces and stuff together because you had no reason to let me out. I was not eligible for parole. You guys let me out 2 months before this man, you know, got released and he did that stuff. And even the detectives even said, we know you didn't have anything to do with nothing, but we know you bought these bullets. So, of course, I had to, you know, when everybody was doing interrogations and stuff like that, them bullets did pop up. Or, you know, like why she didn't get arrested for them bullets. For one, when those murders had happened, I wasn't a felon. I went to prison on 2 misdemeanors. I was sentenced 1 year consecutive, which made me have to do 2 years. Well, you know, it's 2 years, but I had to do 1 solid year. I wasn't eligible for parole. So I'm on a healing journey, and it's just like I want to tell my story because people always say like you live a life of, you know, like this should be in a movie, like, you know, and it's just like I laugh sometimes, like, because I can't believe some of the stuff that I went through, and that I've overcome, and I know that if I can overcome it, I can help other people and other women, more importantly, get over it. You know, get over their situation with their man or whatever. You know, so that's why I wanted to come out, because I want to tell my story, and I want to put all the lies to rest for once and for all.
Right, right. And like I said, with Karma Diva, we're going to get to how she met Nikko Jenkins, but I want you to kind of explain to us why do you think, because you've been through a lot, like you were in and out of foster care since the age of 2. You stayed with a lot of families, relatives. Some families were not so good. Some were better than others. You had issues with, you know, your mom and addictions and, you know, things like that, you know, why you ended up in foster care and things like that. So to coincide with what Karma Diva was saying, what do you think led you to even being interested in this person who we know as the serial killer, Nikko Jenkins?
How did you even meet him? Or
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was 18. I want to say I got locked up August 31st of 2009. And this was like, I was still in the foster care. Like, technically, I was still a state ward. I was in the county. And when I went there, I was in the mob with his sister, Erica. And, you know, when I first got there, she was around my ex's girlfriend at the time. And, you know, people talk, oh, she's like this, oh, she's like that. So, you know, she didn't say nothing negative about me, but it was just like she was speaking like, this is what type of person she is. And, you know, people take information and they put it in their head. And so, like, when the girl had got bonded out, me and Erica had got real tight in jail. And like we just had conversations, and I remember it was like one day she said, you're a really good person. She said, and I really feel like you'll be really good for my brother.
And was that the baby sister or the?
No, that's the sister.
The crazy one.
Well, I mean, as far as, you know,
that's his little sister.
The oldest.
That's his little sister. She's the second to last.
Okay.
She's the second to last. Bye, Mari. She's the second to last. So yeah, like out of all his siblings, they were the closest.
And it's crazy how you when I read that version of the story and I saw it said something about, like you said, at first she was like, "Oh, I think you'd be great for my brother," and blah blah blah. But then, did you expect to have to go through so much abuse through that family?
No,
I
I
mean, the
I didn't
things
know
that I saw in there, like when I saw how the mother, how his mom used to call you, uh,
monkey
what did she
black
call you,
bitches.
monkey black bitches and stuff like that. I mean, there's all kind of disrespectful things that they did. The family mistreated you, abused you, jumped you, stole your money, stole your phone, stole jewelry from you. I mean, all this kind of things. But in the beginning, the sister was like, "I think you'd be great for my brother." Like, do you think there was already some type of agenda, some
No,
type
you
of
gotta.
plan?
I was 18. I was 18. In a sense, I had went through dealt with messed up people in foster care, but now it's like I'm in the real world. Now it's like technically in a system, in a state, I'm like grown. So it's like I'm out here and I'm getting to know people. I'm meeting grown people. I used to think that I used to look at the positive in people and try to, like, oh, okay, well, they not that bad, or like I didn't think that I would go through none of the stuff. If I knew that, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have no. But it was just like I was in it, and it was just like I said, I couldn't go nowhere. Like I would be driving and they pull over, bitch. What? Like I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, like even if I
They
was
talk to you like they. I noticed they had said the mother she would say things like, "You belong to us now. Your loyalty is with us now." And when you became his woman, and you on the outside and he on the inside, it's your job, it's your responsibility. You gotta take care of him. You wanted to marry him, he's yours now. You gotta take care of him. Step up as a woman, step up as a wife. Things like that. It just seemed like, so I don't know what was more
So they
traumatic.
had these antiquated thoughts and feelings that you got to stand by your man no matter what and
The
take
entire
care of him and while
But
he
it
do
was like
whatever
more
he
so
wants.
from it was more so like from my point of view, like when we had got married, not even a month after we got married, he had okay. When we had got married, it was a Saturday, February 6th. The following Saturday, he had got on remand for the stuff that happened at his grandma's funeral. Um, Let me rewind. When we got married on a Saturday, she ended up putting me out on a Sunday because I was staying with his mom. Um, Her job was to get us married. She did what she was supposed to do. Now it's out on your ass. Um, so then he had got on remand the following Saturday. Okay, you got to get out here. You got to do that. At this time, I didn't have a car. I wasn't really talking to people like that to be boosting. At this time, I was a booster. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then I wanted to get a job. So it was just like after that, it was just so fast. Then he started talking to his uncle's ex-girlfriend. She's in the book too. Um, and then he started, it was just like now that he was in Omaha and not in lockup 20, you know what I'm saying, away from people, and he's in Omaha and he could be on the phone all day long. He could have visits twice a week. It was more so he was talking to more females, and you putting women before me. I'm not about to hold you down. I'm not about to put a dollar on your book, and you got
Right.
females putting $8,000. I'm not doing none of that. Why would you already know that I'm suffering? You know what I'm saying? Trying to get on my feet as an adult and don't know that. I'm not about to do none of that. So it
Because
was
you
just
literally was in the system till you aged out,
Right.
and you like you had mentioned in the book, you didn't know how to apply for apartments, because back then they weren't really helping a lot with that kind of stuff. They do
It
have
was
more
like you
classes and
turned
stuff like that
18
now.
and they just booted you out on your own. You were just stuck. And
no
they didn't
resources.
teach these young people, anything about life. Not a
No.
thing. And so they struggle and it's horrible.
And I think that's another, I don't think, I know that's another reason why I want to tell my story, because when this had happened, they didn't have nothing on me. You get what I'm saying? The state of Nebraska didn't have nothing on me. So what, you let me out early. I wasn't involved with none of this stuff. So what more could you do? But you tarnished my name, and you put me with this man. And like, granted, when it first happened and when he got charged with the terroristic threats, um, he didn't get charged with the murders. I'm thinking in my head, like, he still can get out, like, because he wasn't charged with the murders. So yeah, I did go on TV and was like, I don't think, because I didn't think, because I wasn't around him. Did I see him shoot people? Yeah. But like, I don't know. I was young and dumb. I could admit that. We all have been dumb behind a man. Mine's is just more universal. I was just dumb. But the state of Nebraska has always made us seem like we was two peas in a pot.
Like y'all was Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, and I wasn't. And it's like, even, as I suffered after this stuff had happened, Nico Jenkins' wife got arrested for this. Nico Jenkins' wife is on her way to prison. Like, it was just like, not only are you putting me in, like, I'm just this criminal person, like, I'm out here doing what I'm supposed not what I'm supposed to, yeah, doing what I'm supposed to do to make a way for me, because y'all don't have no programs, or y'all didn't never teach me this stuff. So, but you're trying to stigmatize me as this man, I didn't like that.
Right. And somebody asked, they said they're late. Sorry, I'm late. She married him. Yes, she did marry him while she was in prison. And at first you had tried to apply to get married, and we had saw that he was actually, no, that engagement had came later. That came way later. There was like rumors that he was being engaged to some lady at the time when y'all was trying to get married, and then your marriage didn't get approved at first, and then they finally approved it. So y'all did get married. And I had saw on your TikTok, there were people on the TikTok basically trying to call you out, talking about you ain't even really married. Was you even really married? And I saw you show your certificate. I saw you show on TikTok. She was like,
You think I'm lying?
And what?
now what?
I'm gonna come with any receipt. That's one thing about me. I'm gonna come with any receipt that I can. I mean, when I got with him when I was 18, he was engaged, and I didn't even know it. And like, okay, so when we met when I was in jail, I ended up going to work release. So then, I was having meetings with my caseworker, going to get clothes and stuff like that. And as a matter of fact, the woman was on the side of me. And she had his name, on her neck. She was like, my husband. And I'm like, husband? Oh, okay. So then I walk up the street to the courthouse, and I was like, I need you to look and see if this person is married. And I told them Nico's name, and they printed out a marriage certificate. And I'm thinking in my head, like, this nigga really married. So I ended up writing him a letter, and I was like, you're a liar. You always said that you a real person. You lied to me. What is this? You're married. Like,
and keep in mind, Chad, keep in mind, this was before she knew the real Nico. So, a lot of people get married in jail.
Letters.
Yeah, they were just talking, pen pals, things like that. She's in jail, he's in jail. You know what I mean? It's you ain't really looking at nobody too sideways when you in and out of jail yourself. Looking at another person in and out of jail. At the same time, but. Yeah, so you found out though that it wasn't really a license. It was just a because you have to go downtown and you have to get that piece of paper in order to get married. So that's basically what they had, right?
Right.
Okay.
Like a registration.
Yeah.
So when I found when
the license or whatever you call it, yeah.
Yeah. So when I sent that out, like, don't ever contact me no more. You're a liar. He connected it to where his homeboy would like bring the mail up because he was in drug court. So I would just sneak downstairs and get the mails and go up back upstairs. So he was like, I don't know what you did.
Yeah, because people in jail are not supposed to send mail to each other.
So he like, I don't know what you did to my bro, but you got this man going crazy. And I was like, what you say? Why you say that? He had a stack of envelopes, 8 to be precise. And it was crazy. It was letters from the lady who, I was like, who is her? Who is she? Um, it was letters from her. It was a picture, and it was a picture in one of the letters, and she had like a whole it was like an altar. She had like a whole table. She had pictures of him. She had rings, like, like, I can't wait to be your wife. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And he was just like, she's old, mama. And he always called me mom. He was like, she old, mama. He was like, I want somebody young who could bear my kids. And he was like, I told you, I use these women to get money. And I'm like, he was like, I told you, once you get out, he was like, you found this marriage license. He said, I'm marrying you. I'm not marrying nobody else.
Mhm.
I did see a comment on there, and somebody said, did I see any
Which
signs?
one?
It said
The
his
one.
family is full of
Oh yeah, this one right here.
yeah. No, I didn't see no signs. I didn't see the first sign that I possibly seen that the family was dysfunctional was probably like a week before we got married. And I never seen nobody. Keep in mind, I'm young, dumb. I
Mhm.
never seen somebody do drugs before. I only smoked weed. So his sister had bought some cocaine or whatever, and she started acting crazy, like irate. And his mom ripped up the interstate every Friday to go visit him. And on this particular time, she just kept coming out of the thing. Prior to this, I was like, she kept sniffling. I'm like, you need some tissue or something? I didn't know. You need some tissue or
She kept
something?
going in and out the bathroom.
They was visiting him, and she was going in and out, like, going to hit her pack or whatever. And so later, when they had got out that visit, she had stopped and stole like four locos and stuff to get her messed up, Mike and Ike's. And once that liquor got in her, it was a wrap. She was crazy, and I was sitting on the couch looking, and the baby
So
sister
you
had
didn't know that some of the family that you were associated with did hard drugs and all that stuff at that time. Yeah.
no, like, I was at his mom's house in Bellevue. Like, I stayed there until she got us married. She didn't talk to me crazy. Like, I even saved his mom's life. She got sleep apnea. Like, she kept stop breathing in her sleep. And I'm like, hey, I tapped her, like, you need to wake up, like,
Mhm.
and she even down talked her kids. Then that's what she do. She talked to them crazy. Them bitches didn't even care. You saved my life. The doctor said if I didn't come in here, I wouldn't have woke up. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't see no dysfunction until after I said I do. I promise you.
Wow. Well, somebody else asked in the chat, were you scared that the mother would kill you if you didn't obey and do what she said, being that she was so, verbally abusive and the
No,
sisters
listen,
and,
listen. Okay, no, I wasn't scared that his mom was gonna kill me. Okay, so
because there is that one time in the book where,
that's why I'm
yeah.
trying to decipher that.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so like I said, all his family is known for is fighting dirty, jumping people, and you know what I'm saying, like fighting with weapons and stuff like that. As I'm after I said I do, that's when I started finding stuff out. You get what I'm saying? So as far as his mom, like I said, she would pull up on the side of me. One time she pulled up on the side of me and was like, "Follow me, bitch." We was going up Ames Street, and we got to the lights on 72nd. I'm behind her, and she was going in. Before this had happened, the little sister had bust my window because I turned her phone off because it was in my name and she didn't pay it or whatever. So I'm already knowing in my head, like, y'all is gonna jump me. I'm not. So when she going through the light, I turned my butt like I'm going towards Sorensen Parkway. And
Mhm.
who's about to just get out the car so you could jump somebody, So it was just like I wasn't scared that his mom would kill me. When I started getting alert about that type of stuff was after I seen him shoot three people off of 46th and 4th Street. And after he did it, he had went to his he made me go buy bullets right after this. Then we had went to his mom's house, and he told his mom he's a mommy's boy. So he told his mama, and his mama was like, "You dumb motherfucker," talking to his sister Erica. "You dumb black bitch. My son wouldn't be in none of this shit if it wasn't for you. I'll teach you how to kill a motherfucker." I'm like, kill a person? I ain't
And
never.
that was the mama.
I'll teach you how to kill a person and get away with it. I heard that come out of her mouth. I'm like, killing a person, like I wasn't around. So I'm like, what do you mean kill a person with, you know? And then she this at this same time, this is when I seen that she cut her hair, and I'm like, she like, you like my hair? And I'm like, yeah, your hair always been long. She said, no, I grew it out. I said, oh, because I haven't seen it. I didn't see them like before Nico had got out, because prior to that they had two of his sisters and like 6 more females had jumped me at Benson Park. So I didn't know that she never had long hair. I always thought that she had short hair, but no, I wasn't. I just was more frightened that I would get jumped. You know, like that's what it was. Like,
well, when you think about that, when you think about what she said, and that now you know they're all in prison, and she said that back then, do you think, like, dang, I wonder if something happened, you know, before you even came in the picture? She talking about, I can show you how to kill somebody and get away with it.
He always told me in like video chats, he was like, Mama, I saw Grandma outside. I was watching her. Okay, baby, thank you. You're welcome. What did I tell you before this meeting? Bye. Bye. Hi, Mom. Bye, baby. Bye, Mom. Bye, Imari. Oh.
It's okay. We love the kids.
Okay. But what was I saying? Oh no, he would say in the videos, our video chats, he'd be like, I don't need nobody to ride with me to go kill nobody, to go shoot nobody. He said I could ride with my mama. He was like, my mama's the first person I seen shoot off a gun. So I mean, he told me, but I ain't never really pay attention because mute.
I'm sorry. It's like those mornings. I try to stay mute while other people talking, but it's like those mornings were there, but at the same time, you were.
I wasn't mature enough to.
You were naive, right? Young and naive, and the man to me, just looking on the outside in, Nico Jenkins, he seems like not only a manipulator but also a gaslighter.
He is.
He did some serious gaslighting, not just to you, but to other people in his life, like even with his family, like the brother who was serving time before any of this ever happened, the other females who were putting money on his books, and you know, things like that. So it wasn't only you that he was doing this to, obviously. But yeah, the signs were there. But of course, you know, sometimes when you're in the midst of, you know, the mess, you don't always see it, and then you look back and you be like,
it was like I was infatuated with him. I loved him so much. That was my husband. I'm the type of person, if I marry you, it's till death do us part. If I, you know, like I've always grew up as an old soul. You get what I'm saying? So it was like, he's manipulative. Like, I loved him so much, but I was scared of him. Like, I was petrified. And it was just like, even when he tried to file for a divorce in 2011, he was like, yeah, bitch, you right. You should have never, you would, what did he say? Yeah, bitch, you right. If you would have signed them papers and you not here the day I get out, he said, I'm going to paint this city red. I didn't even know what paint the city red mean. I knew it was something violent. I don't know. But it was just like, in a sense, I don't even think I took him serious.
I get it. I mean, the fact that he's always been like from the street, and it seemed like, I mean, what was that station? Was that World Herald? The ones who did like the history of their was it World Herald? Yeah, they did like a very detailed show or a segment on his entire family, the Leverings, and they had showed like a family tree. Then they showed like a criminal family tree history. And when you look at it, it's like, oh my God, like I see why a lot of people feel some type of way about that family in particular. And that was even before the killing.
I believe they took that all the way back to like the 1920s.
They took it all the way back to 1800s. I
That's
was like, wow. Wow. I
yeah,
was
but
just looking at it earlier today and I was like, oh, I know a lot of these people on here.
mm,
I'm like, wow, okay, but yeah, so it was some signs there, but again, sometimes, especially when you in love and you young and you in love, we didn't all been there. We might not have all been with no murderer, but we done all been with a guy who was very convincing, very manipulative, and they have you like what they call wrapped around their finger,
Yeah.
wrapped around their finger.
And
Um,
especially coming from where you come from, it was probably, he probably love bombed you, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so fine, I'm gonna take care of you and this and that. And they
when I
know,
get out of prison,
yeah, they
he
know your
did.
background. They know that, you come from a broken lifestyle and they want to, shower you with this and that's what they telling you. They getting in your head. They grooming you. Basically, he was grooming you to be what he wanted you to be.
that Bonnie to his clock.
Yeah,
He always said it. He always called me his Bonnie,
He
his
always
Bonnie.
said y'all was gonna make history or something like that. Y'all gonna go
Yes,
down in history.
he always said. He said, "Mama, I'm gonna lead us into greatness." He said, "Our kids and their kids after that, all the way down, even when we die, our names is gonna be sketched in the history. Our names is gonna be history." He manifested that. Let's talk about it. He manifested it, but let's keep it real. Like, okay, you manifested this isn't greatness, but I'm taking the lead now. I'm not married to him or nothing. You said you was gonna lead me into greatness, and you led me into a brick wall and some darkness stuff. I'm taking
mm,
myself out the lightness and out of this whole messed up situation. I'm trying to bring some lightness and healing. You know what I'm saying? To let people see that I'm not no messed up person, and like I just want to bring light out of the situation on my part.
right.
Well, how did you
So
feel when he asked you to? Because Nico Jenkins, as some of y'all, let me pull his picture up for the people who don't know what he looked like. I have it on the thumbnail, but it is a small picture. So for the people who never seen Nico Jenkins, and thank you, Miss Sislo. She said, please like and share and support the channel.
Yes, yes.
Let me pull his picture up. But yeah, my question again is Nico Jenkins. He has tattoos all over his face, his body, his neck. And then when I believe it was it after y'all got married or before you got married that he asked you to tattoo your face and put his name on you?
it was the first tattoo was like a couple of days before we got married.
Okay.
And I got this. I don't know if you can see it, but I got the Nico. That was
And
my
even
first.
though you were young, did you ever think about, well, when I get older, if I want to get like a corporate job or if I want to get some
Right.
type of, did you ever think about regretting that at the time? Or you just was like, he wants me to do it. I'm in love.
He said he wants his wife to look like him. So at this time he only had the left side of his face done. He drew this and
Mhm.
sent it in the mail. And yeah, this is like this
So
is
he
like
drew the tattoo
he
that
drew.
he wanted you to put on. He wanted to make sure you had exactly what he wanted.
And at the time, okay, so I've told, I wouldn't even say his hood homies because they don't even claim him. I wouldn't either. But I mean, at the time, like it's like deuce four on my face. Like these Romans is fours, and I got a two, like because he claimed deuce four Camden. So it was just like, yeah, you a four mama and all this extra stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. And at that time, I could be honest with you, I had just started writing. Um,
Yeah, somebody said, does anyone know the purpose of all his tattoos? But you can answer that after you finish.
right. Okay. I don't even remember what I was saying.
You was talking about how he had wrote the tattoos or drew the tattoos or something, and then you said you was writing something. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Now she
I don't
forgot.
even remember. It's gonna come back. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to say it on this
But
live.
what is I'm kind of like the person that just ask the question, what was the meaning behind the tattoos on his face? Do you
Okay,
know?
so okay, I don't know specific. I don't remember. I should say I don't remember specifically, but I know he has his cousin on the top part, and then he has BK on his lip. That means blood killer. And then all of those right there is like Camden CB 2 to the 4. Like he's gang banging. That's gang banging stuff on his face.
And what you were saying before that, because I rewinded it on my phone, you were saying how you had the deuce four and stuff on your face, and they was calling you four mama, and you said what at that time you had started writing or something, and I don't know if
I
that
did not remember.
reminds you. Well, it's
Is it
okay. I
no?
mean, the main
No,
question
no. That's
was
what it was.
okay.
At that time, I started. I had just got into urban books, you know,
Okay.
hood books and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, this is exactly how I'm thinking in my head. Like I got one of these hood niggas out this book. You know what I'm saying? Like in the way that he talked, and like, yeah, you gonna be getting your nails done. I'm gonna come in there and drops a whole lot of money here. Mama, go do this, go do that. Oh, we gonna be doing this. Like, just like a lot of stuff that he would say. I'm just like, oh, I got one of these. And it turned out to be something off the Stephen King, James Patterson.
So what made you? I mean, okay, so I might be jumping a little far ahead, but he's back in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He's been, charged with these murders.
Right.
What made you finally decide to say, okay, this is enough? I'm done. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to be with him anymore.
I
What?
was feeling like that. After I seen him shoot them people, and that I said a prayer to God. I felt like God had left me. You know what I'm saying? Like I only seen this man like 5, maybe 6 times the whole 27 days that he was out. Um, but after I seen, you know what I'm saying, like him shoot them 3 people, and every single time he had picked me up in the middle of the night, I would have to strip butt naked because he didn't trust me. He would think that I had a wire, like humiliating anybody who's been in a cop car, and they know that the air just be cold as hell. That's how it would be. And he was in a what you would consider an undercover car. So I was tired of being humiliated, treated like that. And then, his mom put that gun in my head, and then he took it out and put it to the other side of my head. Like, this was some shit that I didn't sign up for. This is some shit that I got to get out of. So I had said a prayer after he had shot them people, and I was like, I need to get out of here. Get me out of here now. Like, I don't know if he's still here, but I need you. Like, I don't want to be with him. Please remove him from me. And
Mhm.
so he shot them people, and then that we all got the pack in, and we was about to head to Mississippi. He got family in Mississippi, and I haven't eaten all day. Keep in mind, I was with this man the night prior. I ain't ate all day. So while we was um in Council Bluffs at the Bucky's by that food not food stop, that truck stop or whatever. I was like, I'm about to go in here and get something to eat. I didn't have no money because he took my money. He was like, no, you're not. I looked at him. I said, are you going to get me something to eat? He said, no. And I got up and I went in there. Like, do what you got to
Is that
do.
when he said he had to feed his family, his
Oh,
sisters, and
no.
all that?
So this is what made me, this is what broke the straw. This is what made me cut communication with him completely. So the night that he murdered Miss Kruger, um, he had
Senseless murder, senseless.
senseless. He took her car. He came. I would assume he came directly to me. It was the night of the Lil Wayne concert.
And
At this
you had
point,
no idea, right, that was
no, listen.
her. You didn't know anything that happened. Okay.
While he was out doing what he was doing, I was on Backpage giving body massages. So while the news was airing at 5 o'clock, I was handing out happy endings.
Well, be transparent then. I love it. Go ahead.
I'm just being honest. So it's like,
Right.
okay,
Backpage. We all remember Backpage.
I'm just keeping it real. So yeah. So the night that he had murdered Miss Kruger, he had his uncle call my phone. And this night we was tired because it was booming. We was tired. We needed some sleep. So we decided to take this night off. So he had his uncle call my phone in the middle of the night. And you know when you in a dead ass sleep and you talking to somebody on the phone and they say something and it be like, hold on, what? That's exactly I'm telling you, I don't know if it was God on my side. I don't know what it is, but I swear I thank this man every single day for this. Hey, Niecy, this is your uncle. Come out. You at your best friend's house? Yeah, I'm at my best friend's house. Come outside. What? Who is this? This your uncle, Niecy. Come outside. The only people who called me Niecy was his people. But this uncle, I've never met this uncle. I never met his uncle. I met 2 other uncles, but this uncle, I guess, had apparently just got out of.
You thought it was like a wrong number or something, or?
I'm thinking, yeah. So so where her house was, it was like really dark. So I got up and I went to her bathroom. And I turned the light off and I looked through the blinds. I didn't see if I would have seen this man in this car, in the car that I know that he would have drove, I would have went outside. Like, oh, this my husband playing a game. Okay, here, babe, here I come. No, I didn't see no car in the driveway. I didn't see no car in the middle of the street. I looked, I didn't see nothing. The number kept calling my phone. Let me put my phone on the charger. The lady kept calling, the man kept calling my phone. I'm like, somebody playing on my phone. I'm not about to come outside. And I turned the phone off and I went to sleep. And that saved my life. That is what saved my life. So when he got arrested with the police, and of course I had to be interrogated. The first interrogation, they took my phone and they looked through it. I didn't have nothing to hide. Here, hey, I'm on Backpage, and I even told them the hotel I was in. You know what I'm saying? Like where I would go. So when they did the second interview, they had 3. I was at my hotel that I was at. I wasn't even checked in for 20 minutes. It was a bang on the door. I looked in the peephole, wasn't nobody there. I was about to walk away and boom, 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 boom. I snatched the door open. And as I'm looking, I had to turn to the left. It was 3 police officers lined up on the wall with their hands on their gun. Mrs. Jenkins, you got a capious for murder. Murder. I got a warrant for murder. I need to get my stuff? They was like, no, it's just for questioning. You just need to, go talk to the detective. All right, cool. So I had just got done visiting Nico. And I had went back to my sister's house and the detective had came to my sister's house. And so I ended up catching, back then it was jitneys. I caught a jitney to the detective.
The Uber before Uber.
The Uber before the Uber. So when I went into the interrogation room, the detective came in. He slapped a manila envelope on the table. He said, "Shalonda, you lied to me." I said, "What you mean? I didn't lie to you about nothing." He said, "What did he say?" He said, "You told me you didn't talk to Nico the day that he murdered Miss Kruger." I said, "I didn't." He said, "This number right here called you this and this, this." So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I said, that number, you know what I'm saying? It pinged. I'm like, that number called me, and they kept saying, "Hey, Niecy, come outside, come outside." The detective was leaning back like this. And as soon as I explained it to him verbatim, he lifted up in his seat and he looked at me. He said, "It's a good thing you did come outside." He said, "Nico had a beam to your best friend's door. Had you came outside, he was going to kill you and leave you in her driveway." So when I went to go visit Nico again, like, I know you ain't getting no visit, so let me go head back up and visit you. So when I had looked to him, he opened. The first of the phone call, first words I said to him, I said, "Nigga, you try to kill me?" He said, "What you mean?" And I told him what the detective said, and he started laughing. He said, "Yeah, mama, I'm sick." He said, "My adrenaline was pumping. I still need to kill something." I said, "Oh."
So right after he stole that woman's, killed her, stabbed her to death, stole her car. He came to you and he said, you know, my adrenaline was still pumping. I had what?
Yeah, like, and he was like,
I'm
and
gonna
he
just
was
take
like, I
out my
didn't
wife.
trust you. He was like, I didn't trust you. Hypothesis told me to kill you. I said, why you didn't trust me? Because I stole my phone back from your mama, and I told you no. That's the main thing that saved my life. The first night he was out, this is why I was never around, because I stole my phone from his. Okay, so when he first got out, we had sex in the shower, whatever. When I got out the shower, my cousin had texted me like, "Yeah, your husband get out." You know, like she was in Lincoln too. She wanted me to pull up so she could see her cousin-in-law. So his mom was like, "Fuck them, and it's all about your husband. Give me that phone and turn my phone off." He said, "Take the battery out." So later on that night, before everything had happened at that hotel where he had received the gun and stuff, and me and Erica had got into an altercation, um, he was like, "Mama," he was like, he's a mama's boy. He was like, "Mama, did you take that phone?" The phone was in my crotch. I looked at him. I said, "No, I didn't take that phone. I'm not thinking they're going to dig in my crotch to get it." But they did. And so because I lied to him, I looked in his face and I lied to him. He didn't trust me. And that saved my life because he didn't have me around those murders. You know what I'm saying? He didn't trust me. He wanted to kill me because he couldn't
And
trust
that's
me.
why he would make you get butt naked every time y'all
To
encountered
check
each
to
other to
see if
make sure
I
you
didn't
didn't have
have
a wire
wires.
on you.
And then on
That's
top
some
of that,
crazy shit.
and then on top of that, I couldn't have iPhones. I couldn't have Androids. I couldn't have nothing but a flip phone. Do you know what I'm telling you? I went through, that man was out 27 days. I went through 5 phones. 5 phones. The
Yeah,
mom,
somebody said 27 days with a question mark. Yeah, he literally got out after 10 and a half years on an 18-year sentence. He got out, but we're going to talk about why he shouldn't have got out. We're going to talk about that a little later. Because that's the craziest part to me of the story. Because I feel like a lot of this could have been prevented. But yeah, he thought that you might be wearing a wire or something because you done seen some of the crazy shit that he done out there.
I
Oh,
am
that's
just
a lot.
outdone. Just when she said they went in her crotch to get her phone, I am outdone. Just
Yeah, girl. I
She
mean, the
took that
mama
phone
now,
out
I
of,
swear,
listen.
like somebody said in the chat, who was that? Was that Joanna or was that somebody said in
stick
the
a
She took
chat
the
fork in
phone
me
out of
because
my
about
I
what
crotch
am
and
Tanya?
slapped the
done.
shit out of me.
They said it was like you were fucking around with an Italian mob family or something.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
saw that. I
because
saw that.
they fathers, the mothers, the grandmas. It's like once you come in the family, they kind of like own like you do what we say. You
Mm-hmm.
know, some type of shit. They had like some kind of
Ain't no
mob.
leaving the family. Hey, that's what, man.
She took that phone out of she took that phone out of my crotch and she slapped the dog crap out of me, like slapped me so hard. And they kicked me out the car. I had to call my sister to come pick me up. Then I'm like, dude, I need my phone. My sister went back to where they was at his cousin house where he was actually, that's why he was there, because he like, hey, can I stay here, till I get on my feet and stuff. So Mm. So my sister had went back to go get my phone, and all his cousins and his sisters was coming out like they was about to jump my sister. And he like, no, she ain't even like that. She good. And he was like, I don't trust your sister. I don't trust her. Keep her the fuck away from me. And my sister got in the car scared, like, what the fuck? So yeah, like, mm-mm. Let me put you on my TV. This sounds juicy.
Yeah, Joanna said, "Let me put this up." She want to see you on the big screen. She want to see us on the big screen. Like, let me get my popcorn. You get your popcorn and your glass of wine, Joanna, because you guys. I mean, unless you like grew up in this area, been affiliated with this guy, it's like some of the stuff that this lady had went through. I can't. I don't even. I couldn't have been strong enough. I probably would have found myself somewhere 6 feet deeper in a swamp somewhere, because especially all the times the mama kept on hitting and punching and pulling guns on me, and Then the sisters are jumping me, the mama
That
jumping me.
last time that mama slapped me, I kind of got in the stance like I was gonna rock her shit. But Pooh Bear, I'm not Pooh, that's my baby daddy, excuse me. But Nico was like, "You better not," and he was just like standing on the side of me, and I'm like, "This man is a
Yeah,
mama's
because
boy."
they was ready for you to do something.
Right.
Like, and
Because
then
they
so
were, it seemed like they were, from what I read, it seemed like they were abused allegedly. I'm gonna just say that because I don't know for sure. But he had mentioned to you a lot of things that they went through at the hands of parents and stuff. So I guess after raising them, she still felt away like, I can do this and say this to you and call you all kind of messed up names and your spouses too. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like, okay, so in a sense, like at the hotel, that was like the last time. No, it wasn't, because after that she put that gun on me. But okay, so at the hotel, um when he was getting off the elevator after we done split up and stuff like that, my woman intuition just went off, and I'm like, where this man at? And something told me to go to 72nd. So she slapped me again then I end up, because I told the clerk, I'm like, yeah, can you put me in put me on the same floor as my sister? And then I gave him the name, and I gave, because my ID said Jenkins. He didn't ask no questions. He put me cat a corner, you know what I'm saying, like right from her. So he had got off the elevator with his older lady, the cougar, we called her Cougar. He got off
His
the elevator.
uncle's ex-girlfriend that he
The
was
uncle ex-girlfriend.
child. We gonna get to that too, because it was a lot of weird stuff going on in the family. People messing with siblings and cousins and uncles, ex-wives, and girl. Go ahead, child.
So when I go back into the room, it's me, my sister, her boyfriend, and my homegirl. Because like I'm like, let me bring some people. And my sister's boyfriend, R.I.P., he actually did time with him. Ooh. Oh, my sister. That's my sister. um after that incident, we all had went back into the hotel, and the sister had came into, like, sort of banging on it like she was the police, and I opened it. She was like, "You black ass bitch, we ain't never me and my brother ain't never got into it." She was like, "And we got into it behind your black ass, bitch. You got to get the fuck out of this hotel." And she pushed me. No, she didn't hit. No, she hit me. I don't know if she mushed my face or she hit me, and I leaned back on the bed. And like when I get mad, my eyes get like bug-eyed. So when she did it, I'm just remembering like, y'all done jumped me, bitch. It's me and you. It's me and you. So I shoved her. I pushed her so hard. You know how hotels got got the portraits and stuff. I pushed her and that portrait came off. And so as soon as I pushed her, my sister's boyfriend at the time put her in a full Nelson and threw her out the room. She never came back. I spent the night there. I spent the night there thinking Nico would come back, and he never did. We left early in the morning. My sister needed to be at work or whatever, but yeah.
She probably didn't say nothing. She was like, "Oh, this bitch trying to get with me now."
Oh,
Oh shit.
she talked about that years after, even after the murders, and I went to prison. Like, she would laugh about it, but she never told the whole story. She said, "Your eyes got so big, you see me push you, and you done see me fight some of these girls in this damn, and you don't want this smoke with me, like,
Mhm.
like." It's 1-on-1, like, I am not scared to go. I'm not nobody. I'm not about to keep being y'all punching bag. What's up?
Mhm. And Joy Barnes said a whole toxic clan, and if, as far as that toxicity, however you say that shit, um,
Toxicity.
as far as that goes, like back again to some of the people that went to jail with him because of those murders. Like one of them in particular, you wrote about, the one named KC. She didn't
Hmm.
use real names in the book. She gave everybody an A list or whatever in the
I
book.
didn't say it in the
Um,
book, but I said on this thing, Christine Bordeaux.
oh yeah, we know because she in jail. We all know who all in there. But yeah, that one right there in particular, he had told you that they had some type of like, I'm getting to the toxicness of the family, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the abuse. It's like it was like she said, one big toxic situation. Like this man had people doing all types of things for him without even batting an eye. Like without even batting an eye. And that one in particular, that's the one that didn't really like you because they was doing some shit that they shouldn't have been doing in the first place as cousins. What do they call them when we was growing up? Kissing cousins. Is that what they call them?
Kissing cousins.
Yeah, but it was a lot of toxicness in that family, and so it doesn't surprise me that somebody very young who's been in and out of foster care all your life, who was basically let out of foster care, let out of jail, not being trained on how to apply for housing, one thing you did do every now and then, you were working at like Burger King or McDonald's or things like that, which we do as teenagers. But as far as trying to actually establish yourself, be independent, college, homes, apartments, things like that, you weren't taught all that back then. They would just shove you out the system. What, they give you like a check or something?
They didn't give me nothing.
No resources.
They didn't give you no resources at all.
They didn't give me nothing. They gave me my clothes that was at my recent foster. Because when I aged out January 9th of 2010. I was in jail. I was in jail. I didn't get out of jail until January 1st, 8 days before I aged out. All I did was get some clothes.
Right. So I know a lot of people was like, well, how could she be with him? But we talking about family members who he was even able to control from prison. Like he was able to control.
And that's what I don't get. How does this one man have all this power over his family members? Family members, his uncle, his cousin.
Within his family,
his brothers,
they
everybody
adored him. They adored him. Like, oh, I miss Nico. Oh, he used to be like this. Oh, he used to be goofy. Like, they adored him. And one thing that I can say about their family is they stick together. They stick together, but they fight like dogs amongst themselves. But when it comes to the outside, they stick together. Like, they ride hard for theirs.
That's how a lot of families in the hood is. Yep. We might fight each other. Hey, I grew up in the hood. I know. I done seen my cousins.
I can tell you now, my family, we fight amongst each other. We cut. We cuss and fuss. But we literally have been in the middle of a street fight with each other, and somebody called and was like, "Oh, somebody messing with so and so." Oh, we'll finish this up later. But we finna go and ride on these motherfuckers real quick. Because that's the way, but that was how my grandma raised us. You say what's on your mind, you get it off your chest, and you keep it moving. But you stick together as a family. You don't let nobody come between you. You don't let nobody disrespect y'all. And that's the way we've always been. Tanya tell you that literally back in the day, they thought my family was a gang because it was so many of us. And we rode so hard for each other.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that clicking?
Yeah, that sounds like it's coming from you.
Yep.
From me?
Like it was coming from you.
Okay, well, let me
cover the sound or something.
No, I'm just sitting here.
It was fine.
Try turning your mic off and then turning it back on.
Or going out and come back in or something. But I'm gonna mute you for right now. Oh, she's muted and I still hear it. Okay, it's you, Shalonda. Yep, I just muted. Carmody was muted.
Yeah, I was muting and it was still doing it.
Yep.
Wow.
Your phone might be something touching the sound or something.
You want me to leave?
What was I going to ask? I was going to ask you something. Oh, about your mom. I was going to ask you about your mom.
Hold on. Do you want me to leave and come back?
Yeah, leave and come back. And then I'm going to ask you about your mom. Yeah. There's something that happened in the story I thought was kind of really heartfelt, and I was want to ask you about that. But yeah, leave out and come back in.
Okay.
But yeah, Joy Bar, hold on. Let me tell y'all. She said all in 27. Man, it was a lot of things. We're gonna discuss why everyone knows he should have never got out of prison. I want to wait to see if she come back and her sounds better.
Mm-hmm.
But and we had discussed this before. It's it's pretty hot topic back in the day when all this was going on. A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of bloggers, a lot of news stations, everybody was covering this story. Um, and they were covering her too. Like she even did an interview with one of the news stations here,
Yeah.
because a lot of people was just trying to figure out like when they tried to get her, when they tried to give her a warrant for murder, like the day that he killed the lady, he literally killed her. He stole her car afterwards. He immediately came to see her, but he didn't come to the door. He didn't call her. He had his uncle try to get her to come outside. So because of the fact that they saw on her phone that uncle had called her, even though she didn't know it was the uncle, when he was telling her, Niecy, come outside, Niecy, come outside. She was like, huh? What? Who? And she said she kept looking outside, but she didn't see anybody. And then they kept calling, Niecy, come outside. Ain't you at your best friend house? Come outside. And every time she would look outside, it wasn't nobody out there. So that was the reason why she never went outside. So that was why the detectives thought she had something to do with that day, that particular day, because that was the same day that Nico had murdered that.
Still doing
But yeah, I wanted to ask you about your mom. I know you and your mom had a bad relationship when you was growing up. You went in and out of foster care and everything. But
Are
when
you
she
typing?
I'm not doing nothing.
I'm not typing. I'm not doing nothing.
I don't know. I'm on a different phone trying to get on.
Are you in front of a fan or are you in front of no, it wouldn't make that type of noise if you were in front of a fan. I don't know, it was perfect all this time and then
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna try to get on this other phone. Give me just
okay, and while I'm muting you, I'm gonna ask you a question. But like you and your mother, you didn't have a really, really great relationship while you was growing up. You was in and out of foster care. She was, on drugs and things like that. And you really never had some type of bond with her. But at that time, when they came to the house, when the agents came to the house and the detectives came to the house, and she just ran in there to you and said, put your hands up, keep them up, just please keep them up. And you're like, huh, what? She was like, I'm begging you, put your hands up. Then next thing you know, they bust in, because they thought you had something to do with that murder. And afterwards, your mom, she was so concerned because she was so scared that you was gonna get gunned down in front of her when the FBI and the SWAT came, to your sister's
Now, was she the
house.
one who turned you in, though?
Who, the mom?
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
mom? I don't think so.
turn
But
me
his mom did tell, to get her sentence, to get less.
No, okay, that was KC is the one that
The one that snitched.
KC is the one that snitched. But
Right.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. A couple of years ago, well, when it first had happened, I had read an article. I've read so many articles, but I specifically read an article. No, yes, baby, yes, thank you. You're welcome, baby. Bye bye. Love you. Um, what was I saying? What was I saying? I'm
We
sorry.
was talking about the snitching, and then she said, "Did
Oh,
your
I
mom
read
turn you
something.
in, or did your
I
mom?"
read something. I did read something. And I told my ex-husband this. I said, your mom went down. Your mama went to the precinct all the way out west. And I was like, your mom tipped the police and told them it was you, right? And he looked at me. He was like, what? I said, I read that in an article clip that your
Yeah, that's what I
mom,
had saw too.
like your mom said, he was like, my mom ain't say nothing like that. I'm like, well, that's what the people on the news is saying. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to. It ain't
But as
even.
far as your mom, she had asked you, did your mom have anything to do with snitching on you or whatever?
No, my mama didn't know nothing.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to
But
clear
see,
that
I
up.
all
asked
didn't
that
know
because she
nothing.
was saying that the warrant, that they were coming to issue you a warrant,
My
and
mom
then
was
But
she,
that
outside.
was
Okay, so this is how that happened. My mom
yeah.
was outside kicking it with the neighbor. My sister had just left with her kids, and my brother was coming over to smoke with me. So as I'm coming out of my sister's um room, and I'm going literally across the hall, like literally, I literally stepped 1 foot from the frame, and she just started like, she said, "Buddha, do not move." Don't move at all. And I'm, like my mom did drugs, and I'm looking at her like, this bitch is crazy. What the fuck you mean don't move? And it's until I seen that barrel of that gun and that beam at my forehead, Shalonda Jenkins, do not move. My hands went up so fast. I'm like, what is going on? And she stood in front of me, like my mom stood in front of me, and she was like, please don't hurt her, please don't kill her. I could cry
Yeah,
because
that part there was
I could
really
cry because I
touching.
still remember that. I could
That
cry
part was
because
so touching to me because reading the story and seeing how she wasn't really there, while you were in and out of foster care and things, and then how she was so scared and she was trying to protect you, and you after they left, when you explained how she just hugged you so tight, like so
I
tight.
felt her
Like, how
heart.
did that make you
I felt her
feel?
heart. Her heart was
Because y'all were
like,
never really close, and
yeah.
that moment, it just seemed like, hey, this, like, if you wouldn't have believed that all that happened in the past, you would be like, this is not strange. But it was very touching, that experience there.
A mother's love.
Yeah.
a mother's love, her
I
baby
was like,
girl.
wow. See, she almost had me break down reading this
Girl,
book
I was about to cry because
because I'm
I
going
still
from,
could
oh,
cry.
this nigga that did what? And then when the stolen phone, the mama hit her, and then that shit happened. I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, and some more bullshit, I was like, wow. Your story is really, really deep. Like, really deep. And that's what Corio just said. Oh, your sister, she said, oh, what she say?
I'm the big sister. Let me tell my
Let me
story,
tell my
girl.
story.
Get.
Oh my goodness. But
See?
yeah, I know another thing that you had mentioned in there was that you was diagnosed with PTSD, major depression, impulse
Control
control, and then you said
disorder,
bipolar.
bipolar 2.
Well, how are you doing now? Are you still like in seeing a treatment, getting
Bro,
treatments, or seeing a
I'm on a
counselor,
healing
or
journey. I'm on a healing journey. I'm my own therapist. God is my therapist. I'm in the book of Proverbs, and the book of Proverbs right now is what is resonating with my life. Um, I use discernment, or at least try to. There's some people that sneak through the cracks, but as soon as I feel that energy, I try to remove myself. And I mean, I don't feel like I don't feel like I have PTSD no more from the situation. Like, I don't even think about this man. Um, I don't even think about him as me even telling my story. Like, I don't be like, hey, I wonder how Nico doing. I don't. You tried to kill me, bro. I'm dead to you, and that's what it is.
well, how does he feel about you writing a book?
So Mr. Jenkins reached out to me February 14th, February 12th, February
Mhm.
12th on TikTok. I don't know if everybody knows, but I have almost 18,000 followers on TikTok with almost like literally almost a million views on my stuff. So his new fiance um followed me on TikTok. I blocked her.
And she commented on one of my when
When
I
we
had
did the story, did the
we did
story
a story on her
about a
because
year or so ago.
it was like 3 years ago, and it was all over the news. This Dawn lady was engaged to Nico, and
Want
we
her
heard
stuff to
about
be
it, and so we
known,
did a
girl. Don't
story
let.
on it. And she commented on our video when we did a story on it
Hmm.
3 years ago. And I
But
told
she would
her, I
never
said,
come
"You're more than
on.
welcome to come on the show if you want to," because people were saying stuff like, "How could she do this? And why would she do this?" And then the position that she had when she met him and started messing around with him. That was kind of
Now, what was she doing? I can't remember.
what was her title exactly?
She works with the innocent projects and stuff
Yeah.
like that to get people out of prison. Um, I
The
say
He's
this.
innocent
not
project.
innocent.
I say this with love, but I say this with realness. That man, anybody he deals with, it's an ulterior motive behind it. He will go to enough lengths as possible to show you, to profess his love, to, you know, as far as I know, he got her name big right here. And as I've over the weeks been paying attention, if you pay attention, if you see his new stuff, just like he murdered Mr. Bradford, that whole hood don't mess with you. Don't nobody deal with you. That, like, it is what it is. So being the fact, like I told y'all earlier, in this video, he had his hood on the left side of his face. Left side of his face. Now, if you pay attention to the recent picture that he got that lady's name big as hell because he's covering up everything. Yeah, because they disowned you, they disclaimed you. It was never, as far as I heard, you was never even jumped in. Like, they just showed you love. Like, you was from a different hood and you became from their hood by being locked up. Honestly, but
Yeah, and Choreo Lover said, is he considered a serial killer? They call him a spree killer. He was charged for 4 murders. And Choreo said, did he get convicted of the 3 murders that she saw him commit? She saw him commit 2 shootings, right? 2 shootings, not murders.
I don't know nothing about those murders. I seen him. The first shooting I seen, we had came from serving his cousins who do drugs. As I'm being transparent, the drugs that he got up off the Mexicans, that's what he was selling.
Yeah.
I found this out later on. But they said he like, yeah, your little weed friends, your little friends that get high, tell them to hit me up. So we end up going to his cousin's house. I'll just put this out here because I don't care. We end up going to his cousin's house. They were outside doing drugs, but he had went inside for like 4 minutes. And then he ran outside. And the cousin KC ran behind him and was like, where the fuck are you going? He said, I gotta go. She said, no, you about to get your ass back in here and strip butt ass naked. The window was cracked. And when he ran in the car, I looked at him. I said, is you fucking your cousin? He said, yeah, mama. They think I'm a god. They think I'm sexy, whatever. So as we're leaving from here, we get on the interstate. I want to say we got on the interstate either from Ames Street. We get on the interstate. He was like, I'm hungry, baby. He was like, where can I go to get some food? I'm automatically thinking the McDonald's on 24th and Cummings. So I'm like, okay, we'll get off on Hamilton. As we getting off on Hamilton, it's this car flying up. I'm already thinking it's the police. We got these guns in this Louis Vuitton bag. He already done made me caress these motherfuckers talking about these are your guns. We get caught with these guns. You going down for these guns.
Yeah, he made you like put your fingerprints on
the...
So as we coming off of Hamilton, the ramp off of Hamilton, it's a car flying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like on our bumper, literally could hit us. And so Nico started like, jerking. He like, what the fuck? So he bust the left. And we pass up the girls and boy club. He was like, he said, watch this shit. He said, I'm about to bust this right here. He said, watch that motherfucker bust that next right. And he predicted it. And the man busted the right. So Nico turned left and got behind him. And this is the Killer Knowles. So as he turned behind him, we go around that little ramp off of Caldwell Street. And when he pulled up, Nico got the gun. He what did he have? I want to say what did he have? He had 2 guns, so I want to say he had the 9. He had his sawed off, and he started shooting. No, he had the 9 because it was automatic, so it was like boom, 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 and all those shells. I had Daisy Dukes on. All those shells was on my lap, like they was hot, burning my lap.
Burning you.
But he was like, so when he pulled up to the dude, he was like, you know who the fuck I am? And the dude had a gas can in his hand. He was like, man, I didn't mean nothing. But you could tell that it was an emergency happening within this man that he had to hurry up and get to this house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was kids looking out the window. My son's age. My son is 5 years old. These babies had to be at least like 4 or 5. The kids is in the prop of the window. I don't, you know how Kellum Knowles is, and you know how duplexes is. You know how it's a garage and it's a
Yeah,
window
the newer
above it.
Kellum knows, the
It's a
newer side. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
window above it. So these babies is looking out the window and he just shooting this nigga. And so he drive off in the sunset and I'm just screaming. I'm like, look at these babies. Like, what if he shoot one of these babies? He drive off in the sunset. I swear to you, hopped on the interstate. Like, and he was like, yeah, I got that motherfucker. You see him go down? He was like, oh, he's a dead boy. He's dead. He's gone. So then he ended up going to Burger King off of 42nd and Grover, and he gets like 8 sandwiches. Like, how the hell do you got an appetite after you just, and these babies was in this damn, you know, like looking, how do you have an appetite like that? So then he was driving uh, a woman's car he used to mess with when he was 15. And so
Hey,
he was like, I
Laverne.
gotta drop her off. Hey, baby. He was like, I gotta drop her car off. He was like, and it started sprinkling outside. He said, get rid of these bullets. So I'm on the corner of where he living, and I dumped the bullets in the sewer, like, you know, like the gutter. I dumped them in there. 5 minutes go by. I'm calling him. I called him 3 times. That nigga turned the phone off. So I had to call, I had to call my old best friend at the time, and I literally had to walk from 57th and Center Street all the way to Fontenelle Park. And she picked me up because she didn't have no gas. And we went back. She ended up getting some gas, or I ended up coming up with some money, and we got on Backpage. Yeah.
Wow. This back page. See, a lot of these younger people out here, the young ones, they don't know about no back page. But
It's
back
a
page,
See,
you can
I'm
make
old
good
older, but
money.
I can honestly say I never looked on there, but I've heard. I mean,
I
I've
never
heard of
have
it.
either.
Oh, I did. I was on there. I sure was.
I
I was
plead the fifth.
massaging. I was massaging them old people and giving them
No,
happy
I used to
endings.
go on there because I used to hear that other people were doing, like, you would hear stuff like such and such is on Backpage or such and such is on something like, and I'm like, I mean, like, there used to be this rumor going around that somebody here, and I ain't gonna say no names, but they made desserts. And they would say they do stuff, they make desserts in the daytime and they be on Backpage at night. And I'm like,
Well, all right
Backpage,
now.
let me
yeah,
tell
I've
you,
been on there a
Backpage
few
done gave
times
me some good
before,
money.
just looking around,
Backpage done gave me some good money. I done made
That's what I'm
over
saying.
a
People
thousand
make good
dollars.
money off.
I done made over $1,000 in one day. You think I was gonna give that up? Well,
Y'all was giving some good massages.
I was giving
Right.
some good massages. Sure was, and I had regulars. We was doing 2 girl shows. Sure was.
Girl, I ain't mad at you. I
Yeah.
am not mad
Do what
at
you
you.
do.
Hey, Taylor, you said thank you for covering this. I saw a story years ago. That whole family was crazy, allegedly. They crazy, girl. They crazy, girl. But true crime is always a great topic. Yes, you are absolutely right. And Corio said, I looked because I was nosy. See, that's what I was doing. I was on Backpage because I was nosy.
Ain't nothing wrong.
And
We was some
Laverne
beautiful
said, no matter
people.
how people look at her, I respect her for coming forward to her. Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely. Hey,
Right,
you.
Laverne,
right.
how you doing, love?
Hey, honey. Thank
And
If
you.
it
you want
takes a
to
lot of
call,
courage. It takes a lot of courage,
it
and
takes a lot of courage.
you
Thank
can
you,
tell the
love.
growth because you're not getting upset, about the questions being asked. You're not being.
Yeah.
You can see the growth in the healing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, because I used to never even want to talk about it, or I would feel like I would have to defend myself. Now it's like I done embraced that darkness to where it's like now I got that light to shine. So, I would never. If a person approaches me appropriately and respectfully, and you're curious, I'm gonna let you know. Yeah, like I don't. This is my story. I've lived this. I done overcame this. I've survived this. You know what I'm saying? So why would I
Mm-hmm.
not be happy to tell that? Why would I not be
Right.
happy to tell that? Because I could have been dead the same day that that lady was dead. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
And not only that, your story
Mhm.
can be the inspiration for somebody else to get to find their inner strength to leave a situation similar to yours.
exactly.
So
Absolutely.
it is you know, while you are, they say, while we minister to others, we're ministering to ourselves also. So I
Absolutely.
truly believe that's what this story is, and that you got, you know, like you said many times over, you probably should have been dead, but
Mhm.
God, you know, them old folks say, but God.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you have a testimony, and this is something that will, I'm telling you, putting your story out there is going to help somebody else to come out of the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
you cannot let, I don't care what happens, you can't let nobody else discourage you from telling your story, because this is your story.
Right.
It,
Right.
it may have other characters in there, but this is your story.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Your story to tell. And I know one thing I really love what you said in the book. You said, because after all this happened, people have speculated in the past. I don't know if people still do, but they have speculated in the past that you had more to do with, certain things that he did and with his family and stuff as far as the murders. Um, and there were certain people who would still call you like, that's Nico's wife, that's Nico's Jenkins, that's Mrs. Jenkins, that's Shalana Jenkins. You have been got divorced. You've been divorced since June 30th, 2017.
A
And
month after he
you
was served him
got your
that
name
death
back.
sentence.
Hmm.
I
Yep,
love
and
it.
she got her name back and everything. It's Shalonda Moore, and she said, y'all gonna quit calling me Mrs. Jenkins. Y'all gonna quit calling me Nico's wife. My name is Shalonda Doris Moore.
You ain't have to say that on
Okay.
YouTube, girl.
You gave your whole government name.
Okay. Hey, it's in the book. Hey, it's in the
You ain't
book.
have to say it on YouTube,
It's
though.
in the book, child. It's in the book. It's public. It's
I just feel like,
Oh, she said thank you, Shalonda and Carmel Diva.
oh, you
Oh,
welcome,
thank
honey.
you.
Yeah, telling you said I have to go back to the beginning when you first posted the alert for this. I chose to be notified. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, hit the notification bell. That's the best way to know when we are going live if you hit that notification bell. And Laverne said, a survivor at his finest. She's an inspiration. I
Yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. And Corio said, hold up. She said, have you gone back to school?
No, I haven't gone back to school. I haven't gone back to school. I tried to go back to school in 2010. And I ended up going to jail like a day before I was supposed to go.
Mhm.
Um,
I remember that you had signed up at Metro.
I
Yeah.
signed up at Metro. I tried to go back, and it just didn't work out. And I'll be honest with you, like I'm a four-time felon. I've been to prison three times. I would have to really like digest and like really figure out what it is that I could actually have a career at. And what
Mhm.
I feel like I don't, to be honest with you, I feel like I don't even need to go to college because my story within itself, I want to make a career of inspiring other people and telling other people like I don't need a degree for that. I don't.
Mhm.
I'm a survivor. I don't need
School
to.
ain't for everybody either.
I was
You
just
know,
gonna say,
it's
I
nice
tell my
to
kids
get on
that
it,
college
but
is not for everybody. Everybody is not for college, but
exactly.
I encourage people to go and take just a couple of classes. You don't
Mhm.
have, I mean, you don't have to have a full-fledged plan. Just a couple of classes
And
to,
eventually you might decide what it is that you want to do by taking those basic
right,
classes and things
I
right.
like
know what I want to do. I already have a whole blueprint of it out. And to be honest, I'll share a little bit. I have a whole blueprint to help um women. This is what I want to help women. It's a safe
Hmm.
haven. It has so many it's going to have so many departments, a main holistic building that's going to have, you know, resources. You know, it's going to be a department for resources, you know, women that's on the street or can't get an ID, or you know, that want to work, and I want to help them with that. Or there's women that get beat up, I want to have a spa, you know, massage spa. I want, you know, there's women on drugs. Like I said, I've walked all walks of life, so you know what I'm saying. Like, there's women that are on drugs, or they don't feel good, you know, don't feel like they look good. I want to have like a mini beautician section, to where, you know, they get the basic stuff, get your hair trimmed up, washed and stuff
I
like
remember
that.
we used to have stuff like that back in the
Those
day.
and see, and remember, I always say SOS, saving ourselves.
Mhm.
We because nobody else is going to do it for us. And I, I'm always talking about I want to get a group of people together, different people, and teach these young men how to tie a tie. Teach these kids how to do an interview properly, how to dress for an interview. Some of these kids don't even know how to address a envelope if they mailing something to somebody, you
Mhm.
know. And they used to call it home ec. Those were classes that they taught, and they had tech. You had shop classes where hey, these kids they good with their hands, so let's put them in the shop. They could do auto body, they could do woodworking. They don't. They still do it, but it's not big like it used to be, and it should, because just like we said, college is not for everybody, and we still need people who what is willing to actually do some real work,
I mean,
to
I know
be in the trenches.
excuse me, I got a relative who just graduated high school, and he's not going to college, he's going to job corps. And that is absolutely fabulous, because to me,
My
it's,
brother went
it
and he
may
got
not
his
be equally the
certificate
same,
in.
but it may not be equally the same, but I know a lot of people who went to job corps and they are making some bad money
It's
today. I mean, we talking about
See, my
hundreds
brother,
of
when he went there, he came out and he had his certificate to build houses. So he went. That's when them celebrity homes was popular. So he worked for them people. All they did was frame the houses, put the woodwork up all day, every day. That boy was like 19, 20, making good money
that sound like
back
my
in.
nephew. Hmm.
seeing, like,
So
after I graduated, I didn't want to make it seem like I just didn't want to do nothing with my life. Like I said, I tried to go back to college, and 2 years later, but like, even when I was in high school, I was my senior year. I went to Yates, and we had this speaker come in here. I actually tried to join the military. I failed my ASVAB test, but the recruiter who he picked up several kids, including myself. And I failed the ASVAB test, but it was so crazy to me because he started flirting with me. I'm 17 years old. You like dinner 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, he started flirting with me, touching me. Like, he made me sit in the front, and then like he like, hey, can you help me? Can you help me get something out of my trunk? And I go there, he grabs me and he kisses my face, and I'm just like, what the hell? So it was just like, and of course I didn't
Oh
say
my
nothing.
God.
Yeah, so it kind of scared me. Like, I wanted to retry until he did. Like, I wanted to study and redo it, but I'm like, this is the military. This is the government. Imagine a recruiter doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I get all the way in there, I ain't trying to
there's a
I
lot
ain't
of
trying to be no
sexual
SB,
harassment in the
huh?
military. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
like,
sexual harassment in the military,
and
and a
I did.
lot of it doesn't even get reported, sadly.
Hmm. And I just, like, I tried to be on the right path, but it was just like the people who were supposed to be there, the people who were supposed to teach me things, or you know what I'm saying, like,
A lot of
was
predators. I
trash.
mean,
To
it's sad.
guide you, they supposed to be there to guide you and protect you, and they're the ones preying on you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And that happened a lot when I was younger too. Even at my jobs like Burger King, the managers, McDonald's, the
Hmm.
managers. I'm 15, 16, and I just meet a whole bunch of teenage girls around there. Just predators. Predators. That was a big thing back in the day. I think it's got a lot better. Well, I don't know if I should even say that, but when I look at now and I look at then, I'm like, damn, everybody was a predator. Everybody, the neighbor, the mailman, the
But see,
pastor,
back
the
then
uncle.
we didn't know it was predatory back then.
Exactly.
We weren't taught that. Just
And
like,
that's my son
we didn't know
grew up.
nothing about grooming. We didn't know what grooming was back then.
Yep.
Just like, and we talk about how we get disgusted when we talk about these older men and these younger girls. But remember, we had that discussion too, that think about it. Everybody knew some girl back in high school she was like 17 dating a 28-year-old man, and he coming and picking her up from school and this and that. And we're like, oh, girl, you lucky. And he got his own place and he got his own car. Why is this grown ass man hanging with a child?
Mine lied about his age, but I found out real quick. When his birthday came around and he had a twin. And I found out the twin that said how old they was about to be. And I was like, what? Y'all about to be how old? He told me y'all was okay. It ended very fast. Laverne, did you want to jump on? Because I dropped the link from you. I thought you wanted to jump on. I might be mistaken because you said please add me. So I don't know if you meant add you to here. And we got that noise again, Shalonda.
I know. Give me
okay. So I'm gonna mute you real quick till you get that together.
Okay, and, I'm about to leave and I'm about to do it again.
And come back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And Laverne, if you want to jump on, just click the link if you want to jump on, love. And then telling you, I'm gonna ask her your questions as soon as she get back on here. But yeah, everybody, make sure you are liking, sharing, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, thank you, and share the video on your social media. If you got a community,
whatever your platform is.
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook.
Okay, I'm at the. Did it stop?
Yep, I don't hear it. I don't hear it anymore.
Okay.
Somebody had asked you in the chat. It was telling you. She said, "What is the worst false narrative that you continue to hear often in regard to your story?"
The main thing is like that I was his Bonnie, or I had something to do and I was didn't have no knowledge. The only knowledge. Okay, boom. Okay. The only inkling that I had got out of this whole thing before he had got arrested. This was another time I had just got done doing a show on Backpage or whatever, and I was always driving my old best friend car. Like, that was my transportation. Everybody was like, is this her car, or is this the best friend car? So she was sleepy, she was very tired, so she wanted to go home. So we stopped at, what's that? It's not Goodies, it's BJ's. We stopped at BJ's. I got some Swishers. I got something to drink. As I'm coming out the store, one of the girls, like, after I aged out the system, like, I would be homeless, so I would, like, live house to house. So one of the girls, like, that was like kind of like that with me. She was like, "Hey, Shay," that's my nickname. "Hey, Shay, come here." I was like, "What's up?" She said, "Have you seen your husband?" I'm like, "No." And I'm like, as a matter of fact, thinking in my head, like, I ain't seen this nigga, talk to this nigga in a couple of days. And I just was down in his neighborhood, and asking his homeboys, have they seen him? Not knowing what I knew. So she said, "Be careful." She said, "He killed CB." I said, "Who's CB?" And she said, "Curtis Bradford." And I looked at her. I said, "What?" I just had seen this man. Like, I have not seen him since high school. So, I just seen this man a month prior to Nico getting out. So I'm like, what? So I dropped my old best friend off and I hit him up. He didn't answer the phone. I texted him. I said, "We need to meet right now." I was like, "Where are you at?" He said he was at KC's house. And I said he checked me for see if I had wires and stuff like that. And I remember this. He was sitting down on the bed and I was kind of like standing over him. Because if he would have told me that he killed him, I went to school with that boy. We used to get in trouble together. Like, I remember when he was bad, he had a little fro and stuff like that. Like, we used to get in trouble together. So I'm like, I said, word on the street is you killed CB. He looked up at me, his heart started beating fast. He said, what? I said, you killed Curtis Bradford. He said, no, I didn't. He said, that's my little homie. He dead. He even started like, you could tell when a person is trying to make themselves, he's so manipulative, so manipulative. So you could tell like he's trying to make himself cry. Like his nose started getting red and he was like, damn, mama, he dead. I was like, yeah, he dead. And they said, you killed him. Did you kill him? So it was just like my emotions. I felt like I showed so many emotions. Like, I'm not telling this bitch shit because she gonna, yep, you right. Cause I would have left and went down the street to 30th and we would have flew back up there. You would have been caught right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, no, that's my homie, mama. I would never do that. That's my, he looked up to me. He was like, he said, who told you that? I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not telling you nothing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing when he was on the street that I heard. And it was just like that following week, I seen him shoot them 3 people. And it was crazy about how he shoot them people. Now let me clear the air on that. Because I don't like how WOWT. I don't like how Omaha World Herald. You put my name out here like I'm like I was suspected in this shooting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this was a planned shooting. You're trying to endanger my life. You get what I'm saying? You don't know who these
Right.
people's family is. You trying to endanger my life. So let me clear that up. Okay, this was the last time I was with this man. Literally the last time I was with him. This was when I told y'all I had said the prayer and stuff like that. Okay, pick me up in the middle of the night as usual. We go, he makes me, because I was stealing and stuff like that. He drives me to the Walmart on Irvington. He was like, I need you to get these type of batteries. Oh, my phone. I need you to get these type of batteries. Um, And so I goes in and I go get the batteries. That's not the first time he made me go into Walmart and steal. I could talk about that, but I go in and I get these batteries and I felt like both of them was high on PCP. Erica did PCP. She did all types of drugs before she got locked up. And before Nico had did that 18-year stretch, he also told me that he used to do PCP. So I'm like, these motherfuckers is high. The way that he banging on the steering wheel, he's asking where is his sister. I'm not gonna say her name because she's free. But where's his sister at? He called her by her middle name. Then he was like, oh yeah, hit up so and so from they hood. Whatever, this girl from they hood, Redbone. So he got a problem with some of his hood niggas. This is after the murder or whatever. So he telling her like, yeah, you might want to lay low. Things is real heavy in the streets. You might want to put your kids up, keep your kids away from your baby daddy. She hung up the phone. I would have hung up too, because why is you calling my phone threatening to end my baby daddy's the father of my kid's life? So I'm just like, they high. So then he like, I need to change my car. Can your best friend let me use your car? Hell no, you ain't about to mess my transportation up. Hell no.
That was your Uber before Uber.
Right.
About to mess my transportation up. So we end up going to his sister his sister that's out. We end up going to her house. She stayed off of 42nd and Fontenelle Boulevard, like damn near 42nd and 4th. So
Okay.
as we are like literally backing away, backing out, and we're going like he's dropping me literally off. What was supposed to be, I'm telling you, this is 42nd and 4th. Are you listening to what I'm saying? I'm only going up the street. I'm passing up, what is that? I'm passing up, what's that store? The 99-cent store.
Chubby, Cubby.
I'm supposed to pass up Sorensen Parkway, and it's a block away from Sorensen Parkway. That's how small of a distance I could have walked and been there in 5 minutes. Driving, I should have been there in 30 seconds. As soon as we pull out of her driveway and we hit the light in front of Kids of the Future, we are on, what is that? Fontenelle Boulevard. The green box Chevy drives past. And his sister Erica was like, get him. He looked at her like he was a commanding dog. I can't forget this stuff. He looked at her. He said, get him. She said, get him. That motherfucker tried to shoot me. He tried to pull his gun out on me at the gas station. I mean, not the gas station, the car wash. He patiently waited. Like, me seeing him in action, he didn't run no light. He patiently waited for that light to turn. He watched him turn on 4th Street. So he hit his blinker. He went on 4th. He went on 4th Street. We going up 4th Street. We get stuck behind a city bus. I don't know if the city bus was out of commission. I don't know, but that city bus stopped. So he went around the city bus. When he went around the city bus, it was basically 40. We was on 45th, but we was approaching 46. And as soon as they was like, where is he at? Where is he at? We all looked to the right, and it's a light green Chevy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lime green Chevy. He said, bingo. He turned the corner and he rolled the window down just like slightly, like this way. So you could only see like, half of his face. He was in one of the girls, I don't want to say their names, but one of the girls was like, she was already like, outside the car. And he was like, hey, 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 hey. And she looked, he was like, come here. And so when she came to him, she walked, like she got off the curb, in the street. He had a gun with a beam. He put that beam to her forehead. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was that made him not bust her noodle right then and there. Not saying it like that. I don't know what it was, but what made him change his mind. And I'm so thankful he did. I'm thankful he did. He took that beam off of there and he sprayed the whole car. Like, I literally watched this man's cap fall off his head, like fly off his head. The other girl that was in the car, she dove out the car and kind of like tumbled. And he went back to that lady and he shot her whole chest up, like, do, 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 do. And she fell back. You know what I'm saying? And he sped off. Now, this is where I feel like the police knew something, because as we pulling off, and it's crazy because my cousins stay on this block now. So as we pulling off, it's you know how like it's a main street, but then like they got those half streets that's coming from different streets. Okay,
Yeah.
so imagine 46 and 4, if you know exactly where that is.
Yeah, we know that area really well.
So if you're turning, that way, you're gonna duck off into like the Redmond, them apartments and stuff.
The Redmond apartments.
Before we go straight and get on that little dirt road, like it was not even 10 seconds as we were pulling. It wasn't even 5 seconds after we was pulling off.
That dirt road is 45th. I know exactly what you're talking about.
No, that ain't 45th. That's 46.
46.
46.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
before you get to the horsey farm and the nursing home and all that.
Yes. So as we're like driving off, and they cheering and stuff like that, they barely even got a cheer out. Like, we didn't even get. I'm telling you, we didn't even get like 2 seconds away, and on that street, a van came out of nowhere and started chasing us. And Nico just got away from them, and we went up Sorensen Parkway, and then he took Sorensen Parkway and he went to Saul's on 72nd and Maple, and he gave me the exact money. I think it was like $34 or something like that to buy the box of bullets. And I went in there. My hair was this ironic. My hair was red, bright red. So when I bought the bullets, when you buy bullets, it got a serial number on it and stuff like that. That's how,
that's how they knew you had bought those bullets.
Yeah. And I think I had to use my ID, and I want to jump a little bit further. When the detective, that same detective that told me that he tried to kill me, he was like, we know you bought these bullets. Here go. They had a picture of me and stuff like that. And this is another thing. Why didn't I go to jail? She bought bullets. I sure did buy bullets, but like I said, I could, because I was not a convicted felon. I went to prison on misdemeanors. So don't think that the detective didn't attempt to arrest me in that interview. He thought he had me. He said, well, you're going to jail for buying these bullets. I said, no, I'm not. He said, what do you mean you're a felon? I said, no, I'm not. I don't know what it was. I do not know what it was. Although I was scared through that whole interview, it was like I got some confidence. I said, no, I'm not going to jail. I could buy bullets. He said, no, you can't. You a felon. I said, let me tell you something. I said, I'm on. He said, you're on parole. I said, yeah, I'm on parole. I said, for 2 misdemeanors, not no felonies. He left. He was gone for like 2 to 5 minutes. He came back in. He was like, he said, thank you. He was like, you're free to go. He was like, he said, you're right. You're free to go. And then he was like, well, do you want to testify against him? I looked at him. I said, I know my spousal privileges. I'm not fucking with that man. I'm not telling on that man. I don't have nothing to tell. I'm not saying nothing.
Right.
But
They're like, I like breathing. Look, I like breathing, so I ain't saying shit.
I'm not saying
eyes
nothing.
buried.
I'm not saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing.
I don't know if I would have been too terrified to say anything. I'm just being honest.
I was.
Right.
I was. Why? And then why would you? This is the same interview. Why would you ask me to testify if you if you're the police and you told me that this man told you he was gonna kill me? You know what I'm saying? Like, but and I get where Nico was coming from. Like I said, he had reached out to me through a female on TikTok earlier this year. I ain't talked to that man, and he probably was like, oh yeah, go ahead and reach out, say this to her. She's not gonna say nothing. Oh, you got the wrong one. Now this been 10 years and I done grown up. You got the wrong one. Don't send nobody to me. I don't give a damn what comes out of your mouth, what comes from anything. We ain't got nothing to talk about. If I want to tell my story, if I want to write my story, you put me through it. You said you was going to take me to greatness. You failed. And I'm making light out the situation and healing out the situation. Don't you reach out to me talking about you had enough time to heal. You just trying to get some money. No, I'm tired.
He said that to you. You didn't have enough time to heal, and you don't need to write no book.
That's what the girl said. That's what the girl said to me.
I said, who the hell are you?
I'm gonna put a time constraint on healing.
My healing and on my mental was helping me out mentally. Well, who are you? And I'd have been like, and who are you? Who the hell are you? Where are you at in this story?
I tore her a new ass.
I'm gonna have to call Iyanla and see what she got to say.
Call Iyanla and tell her to get that bitch a life, because this ain't the one for her.
This is not the one. I'm not that same pushover girl that you could. None of that. I don't care. You could bring an army of your bitches. I don't give a fuck. You better tell them to leave me alone. You still doing the same shit. You still talking to bags and bags of females. You still using these females. Now that people are so infatuated with, you ain't getting nothing from this man. You ain't getting nothing from this man. His sex was whack as hell. It is what it is. I said what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're not gonna get nothing that
and
you don't
the
have
sex
nothing
bag.
to talk about.
Oh Lord.
Girl.
Oh Lord. You know what? Somebody asked in the chat. They said, will his mom and sister get out anytime soon? If so, will you be
I don't think Erica getting out no time.
Careful.
Erica is buried under the jail cell.
Because they got life, right?
She got life plus like 150 years, if I'm not.
Yeah, they got some time.
The mom gets out in like 2028, and I mean,
that's about 3. What is it? 223? Yeah, about 5 years.
I'm not scared of nothing, and I'm not nervous about nothing. I don't listen. When I say I'm at a point in my life, I'll look anybody in the eye. I ain't scared of nothing. I ain't scared of nobody. And I'm not 22. I'm not 21. No more. I'm 30.
You were really young and really naive and really impressionable back then.
Yeah.
I'm not that person no more. So I'm healing and stuff like that. And I release them and I send them with love and light. But don't think that you're gonna ever come for me, because don't put your hands on me. I'm just gonna say that. That's all. Okay. No, I'm not nervous.
No, she ain't nervous. She said,
I'm not nervous.
I'm not the same person I was back then. She said, why did the sister get so much time?
Why did this?
Because Erica's just as crazy as him.
What do you mean? She was the one that initially shot Mr. Bradford. She's the one that initially shot. It was on the news.
Because wasn't they arguing over who was gonna kill him or something?
she took his first kill. But Nico, so when Nico had murdered him or whatever, from what the news said, the bullet that she shot was not the bullet that killed him. The bullets that Nico did is the ones that killed him.
So
But
she
still,
shot first, and then Nico's
but
bullet
she was
killed.
the ringleader. That's why his
Yeah.
sister got so much time. Every single murder that he committed, she was right there.
I
Every
would say she
single
was a
one.
part of it.
Every single one. All four
So
of them.
even when he murdered the because she was the one that set the Mexican guys up, wasn't she? Yeah.
Hmm. She set the Mexicans up with KC. And I was in prison with KC in 2020, my last number I just did. And I was in work release. They can't have her in prison. They can't have her in prison. They have to have her in work release.
Well, I'm reading the story.
Because she got
Uh,
jumped and Erica jumped her, didn't she? Yeah. See,
it
my
says
mom was still working down at the jail then when that happened.
It said Erica Jenkins, 24, guilty of first-degree murder, use of a deadly weapon, to commit a felony, and possession of a deadly weapon on August 19, 2013. It took less than 4 hours for the jury to reach that decision. It also says Jenkins is already serving time for robbing two men. Oh, that's about the brother. It also says down here that prosecutors allege that Jenkins was upset about her brother Nico stole her first kill. Whoa. Okay, let me read this again. Prosecutors allege.
You read it right. You read it right the first time.
Okay. Prosecutors allege that Erica Jenkins was upset that her brother Nico stole her first kill that night at Spring Lake Park. Juan, Pena, and Jorge were found dead in a pickup early that morning. She was sentenced to up to 40 years behind bars for that crime. They also had said that prosecutors said Erica Jenkins told her family about killing Bradford. But there's a lot more to it. Type in any of their names, and it's a whole bunch of stories.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I ain't gonna read all through it. But yeah, the mama, the uncle, the cousin, the sister, like the only people missing is the grandkids.
Right.
Like, the man, if y'all look up the family tree and look up the history of the criminal history of the family, they did a whole segment. It was very good too. They went into detail all the way back to the beginning of their ancestors or whatever. Man, ancestor.com ain't got shit on what the news did on their history. I mean, they had everybody from the great, all the kids.
Right, and they they did it like a family tree. They had it branched out.
Matter of fact, let me drop the link.
The first levering.
Yeah, the very first levering, which was 1860 or something, 1800.
They said he was the only positive one. After that,
yeah,
and it's another cousin that moved out of town and got married. Like she don't even, and she was.
I know exactly who you talking about. That's my cousin's best friend.
Mm-hmm. So she moved out. She don't want nothing, like moved away.
She don't have nothing to do with them at all.
Mm-hmm. I would have been embarrassed, or I would have felt some type of way. Like if you sat there and said that I removed myself, why would you even put me in this bullshit? You know what I'm saying?
I was tripping they put her in there too, because she had nothing to do with none of that. And to see her name listed among them, it was like, why? If you going back over the history of the violence and all of that they were doing, why would you put this girl that has no criminal record on there?
I think she dropped off because of that noise on her phone. But you're welcome, Corio. Yeah, I just shared in the chat the link to hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me try.
But I'm about to Tanya, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm about to leave. I'm getting another migraine. And that's why I look like I'm like,
okay. Okay, hon. Thanks for joining us tonight. You take you some pills some ibuprofen, some Excedrin, something. Hey, 2
I'm
of
gonna
these
take
is
my
gonna
name.
be morning. Like that old commercial.
All right. Well, y'all enjoy it. I have enjoyed talking to y'all this evening, and
Oh, good night.
you
Absolutely.
continue being a positive role model for not only others but for yourself. Encourage yourself and continue on your healing journey, and you will find where you're supposed to be, and you will. And your story is going to help other people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep,
I
I
really
definitely
You're
believe
appreciate
that.
welcome.
it.
I definitely
So
believe that. Good night, love.
y'all be blessed. Have a
Good
good
night.
one.
All
Good
right.
night.
Yeah, and Laverne, I don't know what happened, but she had dropped off. I don't know what was going on, but anywho, this has been a really great show. I don't know if there's anything else you want to share. I think I tried to answer all the questions that I saw in the chat. Corio said, "Where's the family tree?" And I did drop that link in there. And she said, and their mama probably told all of them that she only get 5 years. Oh, yeah, she said she's a psych as well. Child.
They're trying to make
I
it
think this
seem
is
like
Corio. Let me put my banner up because I just want to make sure I'm put out one of my delicious cakes that I made. Y'all know I'm a personal cake decorator, right? Ow. So is this Corio Boo?
Yeah, that looks so good. Wow.
Yes. I made
Was
that
that
for
for
my church.
October?
I had made
Was
that
that
for my
for
church.
was it for like October
Yep.
or
Yep.
okay.
They had the cakewalk that some churches do, like
Yes.
yeah. So they was giving
Yes.
out free cakes during that game, and I always make cakes for the game. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm getting ready to go. But
Okay.
I know I just wanted to thank you for sharing your story. And I hope all my questions didn't get on your nerves or sound stupid. I'm legally blind, so I can't read.
Mhm.
So all I could do was like watch this one YouTube video.
Mhm.
So thank you so much.
your questions did not annoy me. There's never no stupid question. And I'm not,
Okay.
I really appreciate you listening. I really appreciate,
Mhm.
your interest. And
Yes.
I really thank you for your support.
And I
Yeah.
really think you're so sweet. And
Ain't
Thank
she?
you.
even through all of that, I could just picture you standing in the middle of the room looking at them with your eyes all open like, what the hell? Where am I? Just this young innocent young lady, just basically you were trapped. I
Yeah.
feel like you were trapped and there
Mhm.
was nowhere you could go. And I'm just so glad. Look at God, you made it through. Look at
Yes,
him.
but
Thank you
God.
so much.
Hmm.
Thank you. It warms
So
my
you,
heart.
yeah. So you take care of yourself, okay?
You too, baby. Thank
And
you so much.
yeah, and Tanya, I'll see you later. And thank you for this interview.
Oh
I
yes, I will holler at you later. And you are
yeah,
so very welcome.
yeah,
We
and you
love
know
us some Corio.
I told you that I was going to set my reminders and set Alexa, and
Yep,
that's exactly what I did. So I
and
didn't
you
miss
did.
this. I did. So good night, you guys. Thank
All right.
you.
Good night, love.
Bye
Oh,
bye.
All right.
all right.
We love us some Corio. She's so sweet.
Oh.
But yeah, so I think we got all the questions and people were asking good questions though. And thanks to everybody. I know some people again, like I said, personally, how you've been treated in the past and how you hate to be referred as his wife and people still calling you his last name and even though y'all been divorced for years. So, I'm glad that people asked their questions, but they were still very respectful overall, with the questions and stuff because we can always hear the rumors and we can speculate, but if we're not there, I hate to judge people without being in somebody's situation. You know what I mean? That's why I allow people to just, share their story on this platform. And I try not to be biased or anything like that. So thank you, Chad, for listening to her story.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. And, we really appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Again, you guys share the video. Shalonda, again, there was a book put out that she didn't really agree all the way fully with. So she's working on another version of the book, and she said it should be out within a few months. So once that book comes out, we're going to bring her back on the show so that we can promote that book and help get that book out there, because I know her story to some might be very interesting. To some people might learn something from it, especially if you're in a relationship with, a criminal. I don't, what did they ever like? I know he always was saying things like, I got a mental illness, I believe in this serpent God, but did they ever break it down to what something he might have, like some type of psychopathic? Do you know if they ever
Schizophrenia, I don't really know all his I know he was mainly schizophrenic.
okay. Okay.
I would
I was
say
wondering, child.
multiple personality disorder, because he'll turn on like a light switch. Like he'll be so like, how can I explain it? Like if we'll get into it, or I be a bad. No, he'll talk to me sweet, like butter me up, and then after I give him his way, or I'm a bag of stupid slut bitches and dumb bitches, and I'm like, dude, like that's how he would talk to me. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say like he's a master manipulator. Who knows? You could do research.
And
And
gaslighter. If
he's
he
a
ain't
master
the king of
manipulator. So
gaslighting,
it's not. It's. I wouldn't say that any doctor couldn't really diagnose him with anything, because he's a master manipulator. He did 10 years, doing research, having research. He knows all of those symptoms to show and stuff like that. I also talk about how when he had went to prison before I had when he had got arrested and stuff like that. I also talk about how I feel like he's fake with the hypothesis stuff. Like he told me to get the other side of my face diagnosed. Usually.
oh, dear self.
Oh well, he don't got good sex, and he like his ass eat too.
He said he was wired all wrong. And then Joy said he sounds like Eligio Bishop. Do you know who Eligio Bishop is?
No.
Nature Boy. Mm-hmm. That cult leader that's in jail right now. Girl, look him up.
I'm about to look him up right now.
Just look up Nature Boy.
How do you spell it?
Eligio. Eligio Bishop. Girl, he had this cult. He had people all over the place, from Costa Rica to Mexico, United States. Man, had a cult where he was forcing everybody to do everything.
It be them cute people that be crazy as hell. Girl, go ahead and go to prison. I mean, you ain't gonna be lonely. Just go to prison. Bye. Yeah. It be the fine ones. I don't understand that. Like, because Mr. Jenkins is not ugly.
Yeah.
He's not ugly.
I mean, those tattoos make him really I've really never been into people with all that stuff on there, and some people might look at him and be like a little standoffish, like, because when you see people with a lot of tats, even if they not on the face, if they like on the arms and all, some people like that are intimidated.
Well, on the first day, I know. I will say I caught firsthand how people like looked at him. Okay, so the first day when he had got out and we had eventually made it back to Omaha, his first stop was a tattoo shop. That's why he got that stuff on his face, but he didn't get it that day. And when he walked in there, if y'all seen him walk with handcuffs and stuff like that, but when I say he walked with so much confidence, he walked like he just got a big swimmer. You know what I'm saying? And so when he walked in, he's like, and he's a predator. You know what I'm saying? So when he walking in, he's looking at everybody, like. And so
he got those glasses on. I seen some videos of him walking in there like,
girl, he was walking
like, I ain't worried about nothing. Like,
and this girl was sitting on the couch. She was
very confident.
And she was like, she said, did he just get out the military? And I kind of chuckled. I was like, something like that.
Yeah. Something like that.
I don't know what else to say.
I'm like, well, boot camp.
I didn't know what else to say. Like, no, I don't know. I don't
But
know.
what? Let me ask you one. I want to ask you one last question. We've been on here almost 2 hours and 15 minutes, so we're gonna wrap this up soon.
Okay.
But I do want to ask you one thing. Is there any advice you want to give to people who might be in an abusive relationship, might be manipulated, or even people who because this story kind of reminds me of the TV show. What is it called? Lock Up, where people purposely seek out people in jail, get in relationships with them, become pen pals, and some of them are convicted murderers. You know,
Mhm.
different things like that. Is there any advice you want to get? I know there. I know some people can go to jail and they can change, and some don't. So, is there any advice that you would recommend, or when dating or think about dating somebody who love after lockup? That's what it's called. Joy Barnes. Thank you, boo.
My advice is to never forget your true self. Always put yourself first because you are the narrator of your life. This is your life. Don't never in your life give somebody so much power over you to make you feel broken, destroyed, unworthy, worthless, not enough because you know what I'm saying? You could lift yourself up. It's nothing but to be by yourself. When I say I've been single for 2 years, I don't give a damn about dating, Rob. And I always felt like I needed to be with somebody. But once you sit within yourself, you will see how amazing you are. You're going to see exactly who you are. Learn to date yourself. Take yourself out on dates. Go on a walk. Go on a long stroll. Go have some ice cream by yourself. Sit and reflect. Write things down. What is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to see in a partner and stuff like that? A person gonna tell you exactly who they is. Just sit back and listen. They gonna tell you exactly who they is. They're gonna tell you the agenda that they have for you. It's up to you to listen. And sometimes you might get swindled because people could be good talkers, slick talkers. You know what I'm saying? For me, wise, I wake up in the morning, I say my affirmations. I got affirmations on my wall. I say affirmations every day before I pick my phone up. I go in my living room, I read my Bible, I look in my mirror when I'm done and brush my teeth. When I get done brushing my teeth, I tell myself that I'm worthy, I'm enough, I'm everything. You ain't supposed to be for everybody. You ain't meant to be everybody's cup of tea. People might think you weird or whatever. Fuck them. Little fuck them. Listen, you don't have to have people in your life. Like, it does not matter if it's family or not. It don't matter if it's your mama. It don't matter. Like, I'm speaking from experience. Like, on a healing wise, like, I cut my dad off. He came, like, my dad is a junkie, drug, whatever. I cut my dad off. And that was the hurtfulest thing to do because I've had a better relationship with my dad than I did my mom. But as I'm looking at it, I'll be honest with you, I wish it was my dad instead of my mom that's passed away. So it's like, when dating, I give people three conversations. Some might slide with but I usually give people three conversations. They're gonna either tell you they toxic, they're gonna tell you that they ain't about shit, they ain't got no goals. You have to align yourself with what you want in a relationship. If
Yeah,
you want a boss ass person, or if you want somebody who has this and who has that, make sure you're able to reciprocate it. Don't sit there and say I want this and I want that and you ain't got nothing to bring to the table. You get what I'm
exactly.
saying? You're worthy, you're enough, and you don't need nobody who don't cause you peace, whether it's in a relationship or anything. Don't Your loyalty is to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah,
loyalty is to yourself. Don't ever in your life put nobody, you can't love nobody more than you love yourself.
I
Who else
agree.
is gonna love? Who gonna love you? How you gonna love? How you want to be loved? You gotta have self love before you even receive love. You shouldn't have to teach somebody how to love you. No, release it because it might take time, but God gonna give it to you.
I absolutely agree. And you said something, honey. When you said the 3 times, I have always told my younger, like nieces and girl cousins, and I used to say it only takes 5 conversations, 5 dates, 5 phone calls, and we ain't talking about texting and inboxing and DMing. We talking about real conversations. It only takes 5 or less
It only
for you
takes
to determine if this is somebody you should keep on chugging along, keep on moving along with. But a lot of times we don't see the signs.
we don't,
We see
because
the signs.
some people are good at hiding that. And like, of course somebody ain't gonna show you exactly who they are, but they'll give you a glimpse. They're gonna keep that crazy toxic stuff under wraps. A manipulator gonna keep it under wraps until they got you, and then
Girl,
when they feel like they got you, that's when the other side come out.
I done
Somebody
had guys
said,
that talk so. I don't want to call it. Some people say, "Oh, what?" I don't want to say that, but so, um, they talk a certain way, really respectful. Like they really smart and intelligent, all this kind of stuff. And by like the second, third conversation, every other word is just curse words, curse words, curse words. Then they calling ex-girlfriends bitches and my baby.
mm-hmm.
It's people will show you their real self fairly soon. Once they get comfortable with you, let them get comfortable. Let them get comfortable. That's the trick to it. Let them get comfortable and feel like they can confide in you and talk to you. And you eventually, okay, I'm gonna stick with this person. No, But
I
somebody else
remove
said,
my
oh, go
I
ahead.
remove my presence expeditiously. When I say I could be on the phone with a person, I swear to God, my sister's on this line and she done witnessed it. I could be on the phone with a person. I'm blocking you on every social media before I get off this phone with you. I'm gonna call you back. I gotta take care of my son. Click, and won't never hear from me again. It's
I done done that before too. They be like, see him in the street, man. I don't know what happened, but telling you said something in the chat. She said, would you advise women to refrain, basically, to not get in a relationship with men behind bars? And then she also said, I'm gonna add the next question into that with that. She said, would you be okay with your daughter marrying someone that's in prison? If you have a daughter,
I don't have a
or
baby
if you
girl.
had a daughter.
Um. Okay, keep that question up because I know what the second question is.
Okay.
Um, Getting in a relationship with somebody in prison? No, absolutely not. And the reason why, let me tell you something. These men, even women, they when you go to jail, it's like, and I've done it myself, so I'm gonna keep it real. You get around certain people that got certain game, and you could teach, you could learn. You know what I'm saying? When you go to jail, you meet the biggest and best criminals there. So why when you not, there's people that know how to finesse, there's people that's they know how to talk. Look at me. Look at me. This man was in prison for 10 years and he had bags and bags of bitches. Like, and he knew how to
And
talk
they
to
were
you.
dropping
Knew
thousands
how to
on his
talk to you.
books.
When you date a person in prison, be prepared to feel gushy, and they telling you all these things that they gonna do when they get out, and they gonna do shit. Oh my mama, I don't care. I don't do jail relationships. I don't care. I do not care. As soon as the officer say, put your hands behind your back, I'm adios. Bye. I don't care. Like, and would she be okay with her daughter marrying someone that's in prison if she had a daughter? No, absolutely not. We not doing that. Because if I would ever have a baby, a girl, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna read this book and you're gonna see
Right.
exactly what I went through. This
And
what
that
this is
baby
this is
thing,
the type of stuff you're gonna go through. Is this what you want to go through? We ain't doing that.
right. And that baby thing, I was gonna say exactly what dear self just said about you lucky you didn't procreate with him, because I mean they have a bloodline, a history of criminals, but I wouldn't even just say, even if there were no other criminals in the family, just him alone.
I would probably, especially after knowing that he tried to kill me, I probably would have gave that baby up for adoption. I'll just keep it real with you. I'll keep it real with you. And I don't believe in abortions. I don't, and I damn sure not foster care. But that would have had to been something, like no, like I would have gave that baby up. It wouldn't have been in my family. It wouldn't have been in my family. And then they was like, oh, if she got a baby, if she's gonna have a baby by him, I'll go ahead and put the baby in CPS. That's what they were saying back when I was 20.
Right.
No, that baby would have been in foster care. That baby would have been gone. That baby wouldn't have even known my name ever.
Yep, they do talk a good game, and I'm gonna read this last comment, then we're gonna wrap it up here. But Dear Self said, my philosophy is exactly when I was younger, that is exactly what I told guys. As soon as that bracelet goes on your wrist, deuces, basically. Deuces.
You got to, because I'm telling you, they get under there and they get to doing that jail talk. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like I even did it with Nico. Like I had this girl, she was good with her words. When I said her poetry was everything, I said, write this for me, write this for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I dated somebody in jail before, and they told me everything from we get in the house to we get married to we doing this. I mean, I was young, though. I was young. But yeah, they do tell you everything. Then this fool got out of jail, and I swear to God, it was like, where this motherfucker, where he at? Like, can't find it. Oh, so yeah, they do, But I want to. I forgot there was a question that I wanted to ask you, and I swear, it's. Okay, I mean, I sorry, I forgot. But in the book, you talk about being with women, being with men. You talk about your first relationship, and different relationships throughout your life. What do you consider yourself, child?
Gay as fuck, gay as fuck, gay as
okay,
fuck.
okay.
If you a beautiful woman, shoot your shot.
Because I know some people might think that you're bi because you were with men and you were with women.
I was, but like I said, I'm going through a healing journey. I'm finding who I really am.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, because I want to collaborate more on that. The last dude I even had sex with scared me. You get what I'm saying? So It's like, I love women. Like, I love women. Men, y'all good, but they always say it ain't got a post. It don't got to have a post because it's mobile. It could do whatever it's other toys. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it's a lot of toys out there. I got a few myself.
And my mama, I got one in the stop. But I'm just, like, I consider myself as gay. I don't want to date another man. I don't see
we all got toys, child. We all got toys. I don't see
myself with another man.
I just try to keep them well hidden so nobody find them. Who ain't supposed to find them?
Girl, my son found my little jangling.
Oh, girl, I would die. I would die if my sons found mine, especially because of the size of that motherfucker.
Oh, my mama, look, his dad taught him to say gummy worm. He said, Mommy, why you got this big gummy worm? I would die. And I threw it at the top of the shelf like, son, that's mommy.
Oh my God, I would just die.
Oh my gosh, this was an amazing interview. We gotta do this again.
Girl, I'm telling you, when you put that reinvented book out, you said 45 to 2 months, and we ain't gonna hold you to it. Take your time. Make sure everything that's in it is what you want to be in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So take your time, and with the book, don't rush. But as soon as you do put that mug out, you coming back on here so we can promote it. We're gonna promote it, and we're gonna have some games and all kind of things, some raffles, give out some books and things like that. We're gonna make it fun, and hopefully praying that your book goes well, it does well, and not only profit off of this, because I know some people have probably said things like you're trying to profit off of a bad situation, but I really hate when people say that, because how many movies have we watched that were biopics?
How many
Books
How
have
many
been out there.
documentaries? How many documentaries and podcasters and people on YouTube, true crimes? I done seen it on Snapchat, TikTok. How many people have gotten paid off of my fucking name,
Thank
let
you.
alone this man's name by himself?
Thank
So if
you.
I want to tell my story, then let me tell my story. If it comes with a bag, then it comes with a bag. Don't get mad because I lived a traumatic life that I gotta heal myself from. Don't get mad because I'm telling my story and it might come with some money. That's my business.
I
You
hate
see,
that. I really
they
hate
all
that.
done seen it. The whole world done seen my trauma. What?
I really
Don't-
hate that because some people are okay with certain people putting their story, their bio out there, and then when it's a different situation, like it's all kind of stories and bios out there about murders, about assault, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of things out there. So if somebody wants to, sometimes that's therapeutic for people too, when they put that pen to the paper and they get to writing and
she
telling a
right.
story, why not?
And it's just like, why not? Like, this is the problem with the world today. Y'all so worried about glorifying killers and serial killers. Why don't we talk about the women that was with these people? Let's talk about how they healing, and let's make a movement about that. Let's talk about what they went through and stuff like that. Why can't we tell our story? I'm not within me and my aura. I'm not glorifying no serial killer. I'm not glorifying nothing. This is Shalonda Doris Moore. And I'm telling my damn story. I'm not glorifying him. It is what it is.
Period. Period. Point blank. Move. But yes, this was a great interview, girl. You know what? I'm very looking forward to when you put that book out and come back on here. And again, I appreciate you for gracing our channel. If you want to, do you have a Cash App?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna drop your Cash App in the chat. What's your Cash App?
Shalonda Moore 23.
Okay, Shalonda Moore 23. You guys, if you appreciated this interview, if you got a lot out of this interview, please, 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 the Cash App is in the chat. Shalonda Moore 23. It's in the chat. Please send, it don't matter if it's $1, $2, or whatever. Please bless our guest. She's been on here with us for 2.5 hours, sharing her story, being very transparent and honest the truth about everything that she answered all your questions. So, okay, make sure y'all send her a Cash App. Be a blessing to our guests, please, you guys. Shalonda Moore 23. The Cash App is in the chat. And on that note, everybody, make sure you like and share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you are not already subscribed, please and thank you very much. And always stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood.
Ooh, thank you, guys.
All right, boo. I'll talk to you.
Thank you, baby. Nice
All
for
right.
having me.
Have a good night.
You too, baby.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.